Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you and welcome for tuning in. We are just getting started. I am very, very excited because there's some really dope teams about to play right now. So make sure you come on board and watch these guys as they compete. Should be a fun night. Personally, I like to watch new teams come on board with us because who knows what they can do. And we get to see some exciting stuff from some of these players, and it gets to be very wild, but we love it. So tune in, get ready. It's about to get started. The match has already begun. Today we're doing something very different. If you haven't been watching our tournaments, normally I do a big introduction. We have a pre-show, but today I want to be changing it up. Going to be changing it up drastically. So starting the matches right off the bat, just getting deep into it. I'm going to do a quick introduction, but basically get ready. It's on. Game one already beginning for our qualifiers. If you don't know what our qualifiers are, we'll get into that. But you are watching Court Battle League, brought to you by madgamer.com. I am your host, and we are in the Court Battle Studios right now, getting ready to showcase to you guys the greatness that is Apex Legends by the CBL, as we continue to bring you the best in the world when it comes to esports for the community. That's what we do. That's who we are. All right, so tune in, rock out, stay with us. It is just the beginning of the day and we got matches galore. But before we talk about the matches, I want to just give you guys a quick rundown to keep it very simple and very basic. These are public lobbies open to anybody and everybody that is willing and wanting to play. You don't have to be a pro player. I will admit there are some pro players on these tournaments. So, well, there's a bunch of pro players, but you can come in just like a bunch of these pro players did and made a name for themselves and ended up joining the ALGS as well through our tournaments. So feel free to go to our Discord, sign up to our tournaments. Everybody's welcome. With that in mind, these tournaments have qualifiers. You can play in 10 of the qualifiers. Sign your team up to whatever event you feel you can play in 10 of them. All those points will be added up through placement and eliminations. Those points will be added up after 10 qualifiers. Every single team will be on our standings, and we'll showcase the standings in a minute. But those basically will tell us who is the top dog of them all. And what does that mean? That means they will be moving on to the playoffs, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But that is the general format for you to run by today, and it should be exciting and interesting as we continue to go forward with a bunch of new teams and some top teams who've already competed in our tournaments as well. So feel free to get on board and rock with us as we continue to do what we do best, bring you the Apex Legends tournaments going forward. With all that out of the way, let's take a second here and see what is going down in these games. We're gonna go ahead and right off the bat check out the action as it develops. As you can see right here, C2N hurting pretty bad, down to their last player, hoping to survive in this situation, and they get eliminated. And good stuff by AM1 as they get it rolling. I am going to invite a special guest, first time ever here, and he's new to us as well as going to be new to you guys. We're going to give him a call and get him in on the voice chat, and then we'll have him as a co-host today. We're talking to Jess Kid. What's going on?
What's going on, dude? How you?
I am good, man. The game's already beginning. I'm going to be showcasing that to you in a second here, and just talking about what we have here in these tournaments as we go forward. I know you're kind of new, I would assume, to our events. I'm not sure how much you've seen or known about this, but yeah, thank you for coming, and we're happy to have you here, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, bro.
Sure. So game one just started. These are the qualifiers, And I just explained more or less how the qualifiers work. Basically 10 qualifiers. You can play in any 10 that you want. Just sign up. There'll be about 30 or more of them, and teams have a chance to play in 10 only. After 10, their totals will be calculated against every other team's 10, and whoever has the highest scores moves on to the playoffs, which is another conversation for another day. But that is the system. We're gonna play 6 games today. Game 1 is underway right now. We're watching AM1 rotating. You can check that out right there, Just Kid.
Oh yeah, I could see it. I could see it. They look like they're just trying to rotate through zone, It looks like they're a little far back, but hopefully they'll get there soon.
Yeah, they just did some good stuff and got a team eliminated just now, so they got some points on the board with elimination. Of course, that also helps with placement. The more people you eliminate, should be interesting. And this Valkyrie, I was talking about it for years, ever since she only been out a year, not even, but when Val came out, I said she's top 3 all time, and everybody thought I was crazy because it was the first week of her coming out. And she still stands to me as top 3. What is your opinions on Valk as far as competitively?
Oh, absolutely. I think that she's an absolute necessity, especially when you're playing on Stormpoint. There's just so much, like with the terrain and everything like that. The verticality is super important. Those quick rotates and everything like that. She's definitely paramount to any team.
Got you. Yeah, I like to see what we got going on. And right now we got a Valk and an Octane. Octane is one of those guys who's always been around, but I feel like he's starting to go on the downward spiral when it comes to competitively. But I like when teams bring him out. He's fun to play. He's always good to have just to play with. So we'll see. We're going to rotate around and check in on some teams to see what we got going on out here. And it's a lot of slow pace. Look who we have right now. Adala, just so everybody knows. If you checked out our leaderboards, these guys are the top dogs. They are the kings of the crops right now. They are demonstrating powerhouse moves. For everybody understanding, I'm going to show the leaderboards in a second here, but understand that them having the highest score is because they played more games. But at the end, they can only play 10. So by the time your team signs up today and the next couple days, you're able to catch back up to the score that they have. But they have 226 points at this very moment. And that was after about 4 games. So these guys are putting in some numbers, and you got to give them crazy credit to be able to perform at that level right now. And they're using an Ashe. And I love this Ashe play becoming a part of the meta just a little bit. It's better than sticking with the old legends. We get to see something new and exciting. Super interesting stuff. Have you got to see anything from Adala, Just Kid?
I saw that Gibraltar right there hitting his wingman shots, just leveling up those Evo shields, making sure that everybody's good to go, especially if they get into another fight, especially late game too. But I like how you brought up Ashe, the quick rotates with her ultimate and everything. It looks like they're in a good spot. They're definitely setting the bar high.
For sure. That was funny. Somebody actually came by one of my streams recently and said that today, and I don't remember what team it was, unfortunately, they said that they're going to be pulling out a Rev Ashe combo.
That sounds deadly.
I thought that'd be interesting to see how that one plays out. Should be a little wild and reckless in this, especially in the esports, right, kid? Like, we don't see that type of play all the time. I mean, it's happened before, but should be interesting. Beautiful shots happening right now with the R99. Here it comes. Not Swag cleaning it up and getting some KP, but getting down from the opposite side, and has to be careful here. His team is down a player. They're trying to finish this last player up, and they get it done, but they got to be careful because there's a third-party situation in the mix. And man, oh man, Adala's very busy. Parties. What was that?
Every time with those third parties, man, you're never safe.
Never safe. That's true. And that's the best part about Battle Royale. As you can see right now, they got to be good enough to survive a second team and, not fall off. And they did lose a player, so they're going to rotate out of there without him at the moment. So pretty smart move. You don't want to force the issue. And we'll see if they're going to go back for him. Probably going to heal up and come back. What would be your thought process here, kid?
Honestly, me personally, I think that one of the good things, or how you measure a good IGL, is knowing when to push a fight and knowing when to back off of a fight. They're both just as important. So I think what they should do is they should heal up, fully reset, maybe try to play for the banner. But if not, just keep going as it is. Try to get some poke damage, maybe clean up a couple kills to get some extra KP. But we'll see what we got.
Yeah, it should be interesting one. It looks like they definitely gonna back out of there. They're kind of rotating around, not fully leaving the area. Kind of like, let's go up here, see if we need to jump. And seeing the teams behind them, chasing them a bit. And they're popping off enough. And he's using an alternator. Funny enough, I always love the alternator just because of stability. You kind of got to trade pure damage with stability depending on your playstyle. But I love top players deciding to go with the best weapons, like a flatline instead of a R301. But the R301 has that reliability, and so does the alternator. As you can see here, these shots are just pretty good. And my oh my, they are getting hit and they are going down, folks. The team that's on top of the standings looking like they're going to be facing some serious trouble, down to their last player. And my oh my, Adala is running for their lives. So let's take a look at who's chasing them down. It looks like Siren Vibes is chasing them down at this very moment. And it's a one-on-one and they get cleared out. Adala surviving somehow. Big props and respect.
That was insane. We gotta love that though. The 1v1 situations, and you have your teammates yelling at you like, you win this every time. But no, great job on both sides. It was a great fight.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's always interesting. We do have listen-ins, but we don't have them on for today's event. But we do have listen-ins. I love hearing the comms. I honestly tell players, don't watch our streams if you're trying to get better. Go watch the actual players' comms and learn what their decision making is, their communication level. Dudes are not on their phone with their girlfriends while they're playing. They're not like, going crazy like that. They're focused on the game and they're giving each other the right comms to prepare for the situations. And man, Adala's still in the thick of it right now. There's a team hunting them down as we speak. Pretty interesting.
If you can, take a fight, absolutely, if you think that you can win it. But at the same time too, like, ratting is always a good option. You could always get out of that situation, rat, get a couple extra more placement points, and who knows, maybe you even see yourself in second place, just ratting it out. But that's a whole lot of points though.
Definitely. And I don't know here if he has any say. There's 3 teams in this area actually, and we're gonna rotate around and check them out. We got Phantom Troops here who are coming in trying to make some moves and get some things rolling. They did a great job on their last event and scored 54 points on their first tournament. So we'll see what they can do. They smelling that blood in the water, but they're not alone. There's multiple teams in this area, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out right out here in the open with 4 teams in the view. And I'm going to go ahead and switch it over so you guys can check out this overview and see all the teams and the scenario that is going down at this very moment. You have Raven Squad on the left, you have Phantoms on the right. It's a lot of things happening, and they're actually, wait a minute, there's 6 teams in total, and that is my mistake. Little did I know. And here we are with TUR. They're currently trying to push a team above on this rock. We'll see what they can do in this scenario. This is a new team I have not seen in action, so I love when new teams come on board and give us something different. And right now they're doing a good job. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, he's got the car with the digi on it. That can get pretty dangerous.
Definitely. Speaking about the car, how do you feel here with these shots perfectly aligned, but he's 2-on-1 and not a good look for him. Where's his teammates? They need to suppress fire also. He almost had them both down, then ended up getting beat there, but they do revive him and looking good. There's a lot of action going out right around this area as well. We're gonna definitely rotate and kind of see what is the play with everybody in these areas. Let's move on back to the Phantom. But speaking about the car, for me, man, I love that thing. And I think it's one of those, when you first drop, if you see it, pick it up, because you can get any ammo type. Well, not any, but heavy or light. And when you first drop, you know, you're scarce on ammo, and it's just, to me, a good pickup in the beginning. And look at Phantom. I think they're picking on Adala here as he tries to survive. Somehow does get taken down there.
Especially this season with the flatline being in the replicator, you know, the car is just a quick, easy pickup. And it works great as a secondary if your primary is flatline. That's what I found. That's probably one of my favorite combos right now.
Definitely. Yeah, I just like it for early game as far as, hey, I just dropped, I don't have anything, and I only have light ammo, I can use the car, or if I have heavy ammo, I can use the car. So it's resourceful. It's a good tool in that way. Oh my goodness. Phantom is going down out of the ring. That is tough. Ooh. Tough stuff. And there's 6 teams left. Actually, this match is actually getting down to the wire. 6 teams left. We got the Goons in the building who are doing some great things right now. And yes, we got a new commentator. Everybody in the chat, thank you for coming. We're changing things up just a little bit, bringing in new people. We want to build a big team for the CBL. And look at this, talking about big team. Goons 2 versus 3. Can they survive this? And they actually push the team out of the building at the moment. So pretty good for
that's such a good position too. That building right in the center of the zone, man. I hope they can hold it down, but you know, there's good teams out here all day.
Definitely. It's really not even, to me, a question about the teams. It's just situations, because there's so many great teams, but depending on, like you saw Adala have to fight a second team, and they went down, and they've been the top team so far in these events, but they got eliminated because of the great part of Battle Royale, which is multiple teams and having to know how to survive it and deal with these type of situations. And this situation is looking okay for Goons. I mean, they're not healed up. You know, some of us over heal, like myself. I'll heal the little itty bitty piece, which is terrible habit, but it looks like they probably don't have a lot of utilities when it comes to healing, and they're going to be just trying to survive. And we're going to rotate around and check in on the teams above them. You two trying to stay busy, and I love the rooftops. To me, if you have a Gibby, of course, but with a rooftop, you can escape whichever way you need to, or you can push a team whenever you need to, and it might be very busy, and you can get, you know, 8 sometimes, but if you are good enough, you're going to be able to do some work holding a roof like this and making it happen. Right now, it's looking like they're gonna push, and Gibby's just trying to survive in this situation. Taking that portal, good stuff here on the switch. Beautiful massive shots with little bit of help. He goes down.
Oh no.
Oh man.
That was fantastic timing, just hitting that ash portal when he was like, what, 5 HP, 10 HP?
Mm-hmm.
That was amazing. Great game sense too.
Definitely, and I mean, it's a 2-man squad. They're just trying to survive. You two with only 2, trying to get it rolling. And super interesting setup. Let's go and rotate around. Underrated is in the building, guys. Another team we'd never heard of, that they're coming in right now to make a name for themselves. This is what I love. Welcome aboard. And now they are in the final 4 right now, about to make a move and figure it out. At the same time, there's actually a fight right next door. Let's pay attention to Tur. I'm just gonna call him Tur. I don't know what to call these guys. Team Tur, really busy right now, popping some shots, and they're on the edge of the ring. One of the hardest parts is this part right now, the final ring, when you have to push, and one team is Valken right above you, and I'm pretty sure the other 2 teams will see you once you find a location to hold. And they are prepping.
Yeah, always love the Valk ultimate, right, like the final zone, just to get all that information, figure out where the teams are, figure out what are some safe zones or where you should push. I think that's a great play.
100%. And man, oh man, I actually really like the kids comms here. Everybody in the chat, let me know what y'all think. He should be taking over and just running this thing while I'm in the background. So right now, I like what Tor's doing. They're just holding their position and wanting this right here to me, a little posturing. Hey, don't push us and we'll push back. But, oh, and they almost get pushed. As you can see, they push the team back and clear them out right there. Now it's down to 3 teams. But my thing is hold your position in the final ring, force the other 2 teams to fight each other if they get squeezed in, and then come in for that third party finale and get the win in that scenario. That's more or less how I like to play it. I'm not saying it's the only way, and I feel like that's what they're trying to do here. And it's actually working because now the 2 teams are fighting and they're going to move in shortly and get it in exactly like I said. This is not scripted, I promise you. Unreal. It's happening just how I want it. Would do it if I was the in-game leader here. And they need to take advantage and hit the team while they're weak at this very moment, because these teams have not regrouped yet and they're trying to figure it out. They're giving them too much time, I believe. But this is it right here, the grand finale.
Yeah, we get the bubble fights. Oh, one's down.
Looking like
Let's
underrated.
go.
Truly is underrated. Taking everybody out slowly but surely. My, oh my, looking great right now. Valk is the only one alive, staying up top, trying to survive, but underrated.
Wow.
Getting it done in great fashion. I got to give him props for that.
That was a great finish, a very strong finish. Definitely underrated. Team underrated, you're making a name for yourself.
There it is, a brand new team. Everybody's welcome to join. This is open to the public, free for all. If you're a player watching, you just got beat by an underrated team. How you feel? But let's go ahead and take a second and watch this last second. I was talking about holding back, letting the 2 teams fight, and that's ended up happening. They ended up bumping into each other right here. And this is where Tor could have taken advantage and pushed in at that moment. That's what I would have wanted to do. Not wait too long because they're going to heal up. But they did wait. And that might have been cost, and it definitely cost them, as we saw, because there was other teams healed up and then they prepped for the fight right after. So didn't work out for Tor here, but again, it was smart enough for a little while. If they could have pushed in, it would have been perfect timing to just catch teams while they both were wounded, finish off both sides. But underrated, truly was underrated until now. Now we know what they could do. We know what they're capable of. And what did you see here at this grand finale, Kid?
I just saw like a lot of great shotgun shots coming in. I feel like especially in a bubble fight, a shotgun is super important as a secondary. You know, you can quick burst, get off a lot of damage. But it was just that was a phenomenal bubble fight. I mean, you love seeing it at the end of the matches in the final zone. You know, the last couple squads always throwing down the bubble. You know what's gonna go down. But definitely. I think I agree with you. You know, like with 3 teams left, wait for the other 2 teams to kind of duke it out. As soon as they start getting knocks, then that's when I usually will jump in, because everybody's wounded. You start cleaning up. Maybe if you're lucky enough, you come out on top.
Definitely. It's tough because you gotta time it so right. Like, it's never a perfect moment. It's always situational. Like, okay, let them finish, but then they're gonna shield swap or jump in right as they're almost done. You can tell they down 1 or 2 guys. What is going on? How are we gonna do this? It's kind of interesting, to say the least, on that scenario. But I love it. And it's good stuff so far from game number 1. And I got a great co-host, guys. The Kid, first time coming on board, and I'm gonna be trying out everybody I can who's willing and wanting to come on board to co-host with me. We're gonna build a full team of casters and give them, you know, their shine, and then from there, within our CBL in general, we're just looking to build a whole movement. So get involved, get in on the action. With that out of the way, just a quick note: we normally have the scoreboards updated and showcased right on the actual lobby, but today we're not doing that. I know that sounds terrible, like what? Well, long story short, I'm not going to even talk about what the long story is, but we will showcase the performances and the numbers that you can see. As you can see here, these guys underrated who were number one got 8 kills and about 3, almost 4,000 damage, which is pretty good because on top of the 12 points you get for placement, you're also going to be getting the eliminations. So that was a really good move by them to score as much as they could, and then of course get that win as also. So, but if we look at this and we check out who's actually scoring well, scroll on down, I'm gonna look. It's looking like AM also scored big. They got 10 kills on that one game. That's pretty crazy. So what are you seeing here, if anything, that stands out for you on the leaderboard? I mean, on the results of game 1.
I'm seeing a lot of damage coming in from TUR. Like, there's everybody's over 1,500 damage on there. A lot of damage from Team Underrated. You know, there's so many kills. I heard double digits in kills from by one team. That's crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
It looks like they're here, they're ready, they're fragging out, and we're here to have a good time.
Absolutely, absolutely. It is just getting started, guys. We got game 1 underway, it finished, and now we're moving on to game number 2. We're just gonna get the teams in the lobby, and then we'll go from there as we move forward. So thank you guys for watching. There is a delay on the stream, just so y'all know. We have a small delay so that you can't stream snipe anybody or anything like that. And you know, we do what we do. Just a quick little reminder, you guys can join these events. This is for the community, it's by the community, and you can be a part of it as well. As you can see, Kid, I'm gonna do like a mini interview right now. Like, you, how long you've been with the CBL? And apologies, I can't keep track of every player. We've had a lot.
No, man, it's all good.
Yeah.
I'm actually relatively new. I think I've only been with CBL probably for like 6 or 8 months. You know, I happened to find it and found it was just a great community. Mag, you do an awesome job keeping everybody up to date, including everybody, you know, making sure that everybody's having a good time. So it's just a really great place to be. So I'm glad I found it.
Dude, you have not been here 8 months, have you?
Yeah. I think it's since like, probably like August, September, maybe. Before that,
okay.
Yeah.
That was like, we only started last year, so we're actually new as well. So that's, you're pretty much been around almost as long as we have been around. That's crazy.
All right.
Hey, this is the first time we got him casting, which he's doing a great job. I think he's actually really awesome. You can tell he has the confidence, he has the know and knowledge. So
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Definitely cool, man. I appreciate you here. So yeah, we're gonna get started with the next game as long as everybody's in, and then we'll go from there. It should be a good night. Good night of games. And again, we're not doing the leaderboard setup as usual, but we will have the standings and all the information all set for you guys by the end of the night, hopefully, if not definitely tomorrow for that. Basically, these points are all totaled anyways, and they're adding up to your standings, and the standings are the most important part as far as taking yourself to that next level so that you can get to the actual playoffs. And we're going to talk about the qualifiers so you can see the stats. Basically, teams are going to play 6 games today. Highest score wins tonight. But what matters most is that you get those 10 qualifiers in at some point, and then you hopefully make it to the playoffs. The way you can do that is through placement and eliminations. Placements are right here, as you can see. First place 12, 1 point for eliminations. And yes, so get yourself involved and invested. We're getting started in just a second. We appreciate everybody that's on board with us. It's just the beginning of tonight's event. So we'll be right back in just a second. Stay here and rock with us. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get into game number 2. I want to talk about the importance of landing. Okay, just a quick tutorial guide for anybody that's new, that's playing, or maybe that wants to play. Your landing spot is possibly one of the most critical decisions you could make in the game. Landing just anywhere is not good for a team. You got to have a type of rotation in mind. You got to have, okay, where can I set myself up for the most success? I want to get good loot, but I also don't want to be vulnerable and in a bad position where I'm rotating in terrible areas where I know it's going to be unhealthy. So, you know, we're going to get a quick overview of the map. You're going to see what's going on, and then we'll talk about it. Again, my knowledge of the game, when I share it, it's basically learning from pro players, having discussions with other players about what they feel is best and how it all works. I share with you what, you know, the opinions of others and myself from research has seen. Now, of course, there's always more and something new and different. And especially now that we're playing in Stormpoint, which is a new map, so there's no right or wrong answer. We've been watching the ALGS and seeing these players figure it out. You know, they don't have the answers just yet, and some teams were suffering, to be honest, trying to figure out what to do and where to go and how to play in Stormpoint. So here we are. Game number 2 happening right now. We're literally gonna be watching the overview just to give it a quick look. And actually, I'm on the wrong one. This is the view that we gotta see here. Check it out. Oops. What is going on right now? But right here, overview, checking out where everybody is gonna land. You can see it's spread pretty deep. Kid, if you wanna give some of your thoughts here on Stormpoint. I know it's a new map and we're kind of all figuring it out for competitive scene. What do you like to land? Where do you like to land?
I have a couple spots. I like landing the mill. It's almost a guaranteed purple shield right off the bat. The mill has a lot of good loot. There's usually a crafter right next to it, because when I'm dropping, I like to find a survey beacon and a crafter, and if I can have both of them, then that's the best game ever. But I like the mill. I like lightning rod. Fish farms is okay. Shipfall is also okay, but I typically stay to those edges of the map and then rotate in.
Got you. I feel you. Since I haven't played competitively for Stormpoint, I'm not very you know, I like to play reckless. Basically, I go to the bar. For me, the bar is kind of like frag in World's Edge, so I love going there for the drama.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's definitely a quick fight. A lot of shooting, a lot of running and gunning. It's definitely a lot of fun. But I think for competitive, I would definitely pick somewhere like Mill or Lightning Rod.
Yeah,
maybe even like Antenna.
Yeah, I feel you. And speaking of that, we're looking at C2N. Pretty rough start here, and it's one of those things when you drop and you get in trouble, the decision making. Right now, he's deciding to fall back from the scenario and possibly gonna rat out the rest of the game. Nope, he got his teammates banished, and he's gonna deliver it. Yes, sir. So this is great as far as he went through a bad situation and now he's making it better. He dropped the weapon for his teammates. You got to pay attention to these small details. Instead of keeping his two weapons, he's trying to be unselfish and help his team and then do the right thing, you know?
Absolutely, and great game sense to know. Like I was saying before, when to back off and get yourself reset and figure out what you're gonna do. Make that quick decision, and definitely dropping the gun so that your teammates at least have something is definitely a good choice.
For sure, for sure. So I'm seeing a lot of Ash, Valk, and Gibby. This is like the standard all of a sudden. And that's interesting to me because I definitely see Valk and Gibby, and we know Gibby's been a staple forever in the comp scene, but Valk has turned up once she's came out, and then now we have all these other teams stepping it up as well, kind of changing it up a little bit. So what would you feel about Ash and her abilities in the ultimate as far as utilizing that?
I think it's great. I think that Wraith and Ashe are very comparable. Obviously, like you have like the quick rotations with the portals and can get out of a bad situation really quickly. But one of the best things that I found about Ashe is that you can make a portal to get up on height, where with Wraith's portal, you can set it anywhere they have to run to. So like if you wanted to get up on the top of a building with Wraith, you have to wait until she runs all the way up to the top of the building. But with Ashe, you just quick, and then you're right on height. Then you have the advantage.
Definitely, the escapability for me is what makes me like Ashes a little more than Wraith's as far as that part goes, because like you were stating, she can throw it up high. So like I'm in the middle of a situation, I'm getting chased by 2 players, throw it up to a rooftop, they have to go through the portal to get to me. I can use that as a tunnel to pop off some shots before they can start coming back. So it's always useful.
Right.
Yeah, but that
especially too, because you can use her ultimate to send a portal out of bounds, even just like a quick reset. Pop a battery, pop a med kit, or something like that, and then just get right back into the fight.
True. Yeah, that was a debate when Ashe first came out. Wraith or Ashe, whose portal's better? And I'm like, it's very different in certain ways, so you can't actually, decide on that. But I don't know, right now I guess Ashe is taking over. And speaking of that, we're looking at Adala keeping busy against Grape Shots here. Grape Shots is being super aggressive. We're looking at Saucin trying to get some work in right now. It's a team we've known and we've seen for a long time, and they're coming with the action.
Yeah, and that Ashe passive, putting the knife in the death box, figuring out where the other teams are. That's also a great move, just so that like spatial awareness. Spatial awareness is really, really important, especially when you're playing competitive. You want to know what's going on around you, as much information as you can get.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think it's more in line with being able to hold your own, right? If you have a position that you like and you know where everybody else is, or if you need to rotate, just very, very key. Information is king, in my opinion. But right now we're looking at Grape kind of take it easy and deciding, grouping up, figuring out what they're gonna do. And we don't have the comms, of course. We could make up our own, just talk right here for them. But I'm interested to see how they play this one out. And they've been aggressive for a while, but I think they're gonna be playing for placement also, because they did not push that team and they decided to back off in that situation, and they're holding the edge of the ring. That's another conversation, kid, on something I like to do is hold the edge sometimes, and you got a lot more safer. You can rotate in without having someone on your back, and you'll know that your back is safe in these type of scenarios. And teams have been doing this. I mean, pro teams have been putting in this type of effort to be a little smarter about just always being in a fight.
Right. The good thing about playing Edge is that there's often you'll find a lot of fights. Can level up those evos really quickly. But the only bad thing about playing Edge I found is that when it comes time to get to like the final zones, is that any space that you want to take is already taken by other teams. So you're kind of just like stuck with what's left. So that's the only down thing, I think, in my opinion, about playing Edge. But I love playing Edge. I love playing a little bit aggressive. Like even just pushing a team and getting a bunch of damage and then just backing off completely and resetting. I think it's just so much fun.
Definitely. I hear you. I mean, it's a give or take situations too. If you want to hold the God spot, you better be God tier to be able to push teams back, because then it's multiple teams. The best teams I've always seen is they have each player watching a different location. One is watching north, pushing a team back. Another dude is in the east, pushing a team back. You know, and everybody's pushing teams back, not allowing themselves to get pushed. And speaking of push, we're looking at CU. They're currently in the mix, about to push this team right now, see if they can handle that pressure and stop this team right now. They have them cornered in this building. Who do you rather be, the team on the roof or the team in the building?
Ooh, that's a really hard choice. I know that I would rather be on the team that had the Bangalore smoke. I know that. You know, Bangalore smoke, now that Bloodhound's not really in meta, that smoke definitely throws you off. But I think I would rather be on the roof. You know, there's some places you can kind of get a good little angle, maybe shoot through the window, get some damage, maybe get some KP. But yeah, definitely the roof.
Yeah, and speaking of that, CU's already jumped into the building right now, but they have another team on the outside. There's actually two teams right outside, and one of them is on the building right next door. I'm gonna take a quick look over there and check out U2, who's right next door in this scenario as well. Now they're about to get into it just a bit as they regroup and heal up during this fight. Should be interesting to see how this plays out.
I love fighting in this cave. There's just so many angles that you can hold, so many different like little cracks in the windows that you can maybe find an angle on, and then there's so much cover that you can use to, you know, back up, reset, heal up, and then just go back at it.
100%. And I actually really like Storm Point in a lot of ways. You know, we can talk about spacing. Oh, beautiful shots here. Eva coming out.
That was a quick cleanup. Oh my gosh. Made quick work of that team, but now the third party's coming in.
And you two trying to take control of this scenario. I love seeing the gold shields. Even though I don't know if we should. What are we banning? What are we banning from the CBL one day? What are we banning? And right now they're just stepping back and rehealing, and this is called I don't have an ego and I want to win this game. So I'm gonna back off, I'm gonna heal up, prep myself, and get back into the fight after. I don't have to force you. Doing a pretty good job here. Shout out to you two pushing right back in. And here goes the fight. Flatline and Peacekeeper.
Oh, they got one down. So he's gonna pop it back, get right back in there.
Doing a good job pushing this team here, and now they're gonna go revive their teammate, which is a smart move. And they're pretty comfortable for the moment, wanting to clear this team out. Getting their KP for sure.
Definitely making sure that you get all that KP. Definitely finish those kills, guys. Finish those kills.
And that was a pretty good run right there by you too. And again, apologies if there's some teams that would change their name and most of their players, and now it's a new team. But from somebody like Just Kid, who's been around for a while, what was the name of your team?
It was I Need Light Ammo. Well, there was a few. I Need Light Ammo.
Name was I Need Light Ammo.
I think that was my second team. Was I Need Light Ammo. I forget the name of my first team, but yeah.
Oh man. And right now you two's pretty comfortable and confident here. No worries on their side of things as they scored some decent points in that scenario. 5 points total. Big props and credit to them. And we're gonna rotate around to KOD, who's in the thick of it right now, pushing into the ring. It's still early on. They're gonna heal up, but they have a team right in front of them trying to gatekeep. One of their players goes down and they're getting hit pretty hard. He's all alone. KOD goes down, officially eliminated. And you talk about goodness from a team, a new team as well. The Wolves are coming in play, trying to figure things out, and they got to be very careful. There's a team in front of them as well. So to me, that's the best part of Battle Royale, is the ability to survive multiple teams. It's easy to one-on-one a team. You know, that's something we've seen for years, but Battle Royale's greatness is having to survive multiple teams. And of course, most likely they're going to use their Valk ult to get out of this situation if they have hurt. If not, they'll end up having to push and fight this tough battle as we go. And there it is. They're out of here. And can you survive this is the question. People are learning how to take down these Valk ults. Really trying to gun them down as much as they can and as often as they can.
Yeah, there's that split second in Valkyrie's ultimate where Valkyrie is just totally staying still. You know, you can pop off a lot of shots on there.
Yeah, we've seen it in the ALGS, a lot of good stuff from the pro players who are just taking down Valks every chance they get. Because, you know, she's a getaway free card and it's amazing. To be honest, you know, the Gibby has been, to me, the overpowered legend that nobody's changed, his bubble. Right. But Valk's ability is something special in that way too, where it's the only character who can get you all the way out of any situation. So always interesting.
It just clears you right out. If you're in a bad situation, just get right out of it, be able to go somewhere safe, get your health back up, reload if you have to, and just be on your way, and as if nothing ever happened.
Yep. Hey, we're gonna take a quick look on another team here, and these guys have been around from the beginning. UMP, they're busy right now. It's the first time back in a while, and they're playing in these qualifiers starting off, and now they're gonna have to make a push, and they got a Bangalore. The conversation in the esports scene is that Bangalore isn't as relevant because her smoke can get scanned by so many different legends who have, you know, wall hacks, let's just say. But I love Bang. I think she's fun to play and an awesome legend.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, Bangalore's ultimate with Gibraltar's ultimate at the same time, that's going to be definitely cause for some chaos.
Definitely. If only they can take, and I keep bringing this up, and I promise I'm gonna stop, but if they take Gibby's bubble and they make it like 500 damage, you know, you can destroy it after 500 damage, then that changes this game. And you know, you can't just spam his bubble at any time and get away with it. You got to be careful because it can get destroyed, especially with those ultimates, especially in these scenarios where you throw a combination of throwing one right after another and forcing teams to use up all their utility. Could be interesting. And it looks like UMP's kind of camping it here, and actually they're getting caught up in the mix by Grape Shot, and now it is time for some trouble. Let's see what happens here. Grape Shot getting hit pretty hard. One of their players is down, and now we're gonna see how this one plays out for Grape Shot.
Oh,
that was a clean wipe by U2.
that was, you know, it's so important too to make sure that, especially like in a competitive scene, that you know what fights you want to take and be able to take them and finish them quickly, because if you take too long, that third party is going to be right behind you.
I hear you. And right now, these guys are pretty busy. U2 cleaning it up and scoring some big points, but they're not done. They have another team right on top of them. Man, oh man, no time to rest. They got to be careful. Of course, that Gibby bubble saves everybody's life. It's
something I keep on commentating. I want the devs to be like, bro, shut up, and then nerf him a little. Come on, guys. But they're gonna buff him actually.
Great race portal.
They are gonna buff him. But right now, U2 doing a good job surviving that whole situation, and now they're pushing deeper in. And I like it. I like it a lot. I think they're extra aggressive and confident.
They're definitely having a pop-off game.
Who got 7 kills? He's the kill leader right now. The team has 11 in total. Ooh. Just to be clear.
Oh, now this cross is gonna be oh, then the Gibby bubble comes down. Oh,
We jinxed them here, and it's the Reapers who are about to try to take advantage. Beautiful flank right there. Can he finish it though? And he does.
yes.
And Raven Reapers coming in hot. This team has been with us for a long time, and they've been picking up the pace. Something about the Raven clan starting to step it up overall. A lot of their teams have like about 4 teams, and they've been able to pick it up a bit. Well, I jinxed them again. As you know, the caster's jinx is real. They're down to their last player. It's looking like High Peak is coming in the building and trying to push the pace here. Good stuff by High Peak. Clearing it up right there, and they're going to probably rotate around and get up out of there. That's a smart move, just holding it and waiting. And man, he has a Kraber. And he popped off with 1 shot. I had a Kraber this morning I played, and oh man, I love that thing. I mean, we gonna ban it from the events or what? What do you think, kid?
If I'm on the receiving end, then yes, absolutely ban it. If I have the Kraber in hand, then no, don't get rid of it. No, I do agree though. It's definitely very powerful. You know, like a headshot is an immediate knock. Definitely can change the pace of a fight in a split second. So I can see both arguments.
It can change the whole thing. Like, cause you gotta understand, there's no weapon close to the Kraber. So, you know, to be able to 1-shot somebody automatically with a headshot is crazy. So, I don't know. It's a conversation. I mean, I'm hosting the events, and I think the devs are looking for ways to nerf it somehow, but without making it useless, you know. So, and look at this Valkyrie.
Oh, getting some poke damage.
And here comes that Kraber shots I was talking about. It's about to get real. And I like High Peak right now. They're super aggressive. They want these points, and they're gonna go for it. I would have pulled out the Kraber from that close, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What you just want that clip, right? Want that like no scope headshot.
Yep. And man, oh man, High Peak doing some things here, getting that Ash to warp out behind them so they can heal up. They already have this team down and out, and they finish them up right there. And man, High Peak at their peak right now, taking the kill leader. And look at this. Another team trying to push them back, downing 2 of their players. This is the last team right now. Who's gonna win it all? I didn't even notice we were in the grand finale, folks. And there it is, High Peak. Getting the win. Wow.
And do you know how many times I've done that? I've been like the last one alive, and I've died to the zone. It's so frustrating.
It's tough.
But great effort on both sides.
Definitely. Let's take a quick look at just to see what was going on in that scenario. And as you can see right here, High Peak was doing great. I mean, they cleared it up. They were on a momentum run right here, basically taking out multiple teams back to back. And then, you know, they get hit for the third party right after this. And that is where they started to go through that trouble. but it happens. Situations, like I said, being able to play against all of these top guys and survive the scenarios, it's easier said than done.
Oh, absolutely. Especially when you're on a roll like that, you know, just bodies after bodies, you build up your confidence. And sometimes you don't want to get too cocky, but sometimes getting a little cocky is okay.
Yeah, it's a balance, man. How do we stay confident but stay humble and stay hungry and, you know, play it smart? You can see the way that ended there. Hey, a win's a win. That's all I know.
Yep.
You know, good stuff so far. Thank you guys for watching. We're hanging out, enjoying ourselves. This is Core Battle League. I'm your host, Mad Gamer. We have a special guest commentator, Just Kid, in the building, and he's been doing great so far. Hope you guys like it. Somebody in the chat saying they like the music. Thank you very much. And yeah, no copyrights on that stuff, guys. That's original. But with that out of the way, let's talk about these qualifiers so I can explain it to everybody watching real quick. The overview that you're looking at right here is open to the public. You can sign up, go into our Discord. It's real simple. We don't have this dramatic, like, sign up, give me your birth certificate or something crazy. You just come in, go to the Discord, read the information, sign your team up. That's it. That's all that you got to do for these events. Now, to make it to the playoffs or championships, that takes you actually winning and putting up some numbers. But you can sign up and have some fun and just get used to, like a lot of these players did. And we had them on the other day on my personal stream, where some guys that are in the ALGS talking about how they made it from never playing in competitive scene and then ended up becoming a pro player just from entering my tournaments. You know, and that's all it takes. A little bit of effort, put it in the time. But you're gonna sign up. You got 10 qualifiers you can enter in, and those points will be added up to see who and what you did there. Whoever's the top teams, they will move on to the playoffs. That is the general format. Then I'm going to showcase here how the point system works. First place gets 12, second place gets 9 points, third place gets 7, and so on and so on. Eliminations is 1 point. We're not going to be showing the leaderboards or anything crazy today. We will have the results of the stats and stuff like that, so you guys can see in just a second. But overall, the results for everything will be announced later tonight or possibly tomorrow, the latest. Normally we have them right after each game, but it's a one-man show today. And I do have my co-host here who's helping me with the commentary, so I appreciate it, kid.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, so we still got 4 more games. All right, the way we do things is the next 2 games will be back to back. We'll get them in as quick as possible, and then we'll jump into a quick break to give the players a couple minutes to get into the new lobby, and then we play the last 2 games. So 4 games in a row, and then we go from there. All right. Hope y'all enjoyed it. And again, it's just the beginning. But we'll be right back in just a second, starting up the next game shortly. All right, before we start the new game, let's go ahead and show you guys the actual results in this second game that just took place. And you have top tier stuff from High Peak getting into the work, and you talk about numbers. We're just going to talk stats. These guys went crazy on the kills. That is incredible. 15 points. Okay, that's a lot. Out of 57 players, they scored 15. That's big stuff, as you can see here. And then we look around and we'll check on anybody else and check what these guys have for points. And it's looking like that was the top tier performance as well, getting first place and also scoring 15 points for the eliminations. That's pretty crazy. So get ready for game number 3. Still pretty early. Still a lot of games to play. These teams can easily catch back up. All they got to do is just get that one big game and come on board. And I haven't done the totals, and I apologize. I know you guys love the scores. My scorekeeper has been busy today, and I don't have a secondary scorekeeper, which we're going to build a team. And I got to train some people and have them prepped, and then we'll have that ready for you guys. For now, today, we're going to get all these games in, total the scores, and then, you know, in the future, we'll have a new scorekeeper that can be here with us. But, yeah, hope you guys are enjoying it. I know I'm digging some of these guys, some of these new teams coming on board and showcasing that they ain't fooling around and they're really about this life. So let's see how it all plays out going forward. I'm going to go ahead and rotate around and take a quick look at a team that we have not talked about or seen much of at all to start off game number 3 right here. And what am I calling these guys? Papa. I have no idea. We're just gonna call them the boys. We them boys. And here we are. They dropped, and I like this spot for the rotation of it, in the sense of there's some areas you can get to that are really nice in this spot right here, but it's not always a good look, because like you see there in the end of the ring, and we're gonna figure it out. We'll see what happens with these guys.
Ultimate accelerant here.
They rotate down north. They can I'm sorry, south. They can do some good stuff. That's the way I like to go from this area. We'll see what happens. But hey, picking up an R301 and a 30-30, that's not a bad look right now to start off the match.
I have to say the 301's probably my second pick after a wingman.
Really?
Oh yeah. I just love running wingman as like my primary. The 301 is my secondary. I love it.
Got you. See, my thing is I always tell people, if you're rocking an R301, you're a casual. No,
Yeah.
no. What I mean by that is that you got a wingman. That is, to me, top tier. I want to be good. I want to be great. Weapon. You can't pick that up as a casual.
Right.
Sorry. But an R301, any casual can pick it up and kind of do decent. And that's what I mean by that. And what I say that because I feel like, even pro players use the R301, so I'm not like trying to trash that. But I do feel like if you want to get good using these specific weapons that are harder to deal with and take more skill, really shows that you are about that life. And that's why I was a little surprised being a wingman guy. And then of course you need that secondary to be able to have that flexibility, and it makes sense. It's a great combination in general to pick up and to be able to, you know, put some work in and get it done. And speaking of get some work in, these boys is stacking up right now. They're about to make a decision in a minute, though. They're gonna have to figure out what they want to do and where they want to go, because it is gonna get crazy in just a second when this closes up on them. But we're gonna go ahead and take a look around and check in on a team who's a little bit busy here. Got a team wipe just a second ago. We missed that. We saw it on the kill feed. $1 getting some work done.
They're really setting the bar high, man.
Definitely. These guys are ridiculous. And today there was a player, actually, Kid can talk to me about that, and we got to figure out better ways to present stuff to people, because there was a player like, hey man, I want to play in your tournaments, but I'm seeing this team with 200 points. I can't score that much in a game. I'm not going to play, you know, that would make sense to me. They were trying to ask me about the qualifiers, and I explained to them, no, they did not score that much. They actually got it out of like 4 games.
Right.
You know, it wasn't one game that they scored that. That'd be insane. But, you know, I had to explain it a little easier. It made me think about having to present it a little better, because the way it is you go to the website, you can see the standings or the leaderboards. And standings are about all of the games that they played. If you move to the right, you can see the actual games that they played, how many games and how much they scored each game. That's how that works. But for the leaderboards, just specifically for today, I wanted to explain it on the chat just in case that person's watching. Thank you for asking that question. It's not the only time. It's good to ask, because then it helps me want to fix things and make things a little simpler, make people understand. Just because $1's leading today, they have to only play 10 games. So they're going to finish them first than everybody, probably, because they're playing in every event. But then they end up running out of games, and now all of a sudden you're still playing 10 games. You catch up, you beat their score, you end up in the playoffs. And now it's going to be more than 20 teams in the playoffs. So, you know, you don't have to worry too much about being number 1 per se, as long as you can get in the top. And Kid, if you want to just give me your thoughts on that whole format as somebody from the outside looking in.
That's a great format. You know, it gives everybody opportunity, whether you want to come in early and kind of set the bar and then see how everybody else does once you're done with your 10 games or your 10 match days. Or, you know, you want to just kind of lay back a little bit, you know, see how everybody's going, then make your decision on if you want to jump in and compete too. But I think it's great, you know, capping it at 10, pretty much do the best that you can in 10 and hope for the best from there.
For sure. It should be fun. It's going to be fun as a viewer, as far as like seeing these stats change every tournament. Somebody else catching the lead, somebody else moving up, and it's back and forth. Then it's their last game. They have to score 30 plus points. Can they do it? And then it gets pretty intense for those teams, and we could pay attention to like who needs how many later on once it's about to close out and stuff like that. Check this out right here. We're using the Bangalore smoke to throw the Valkyrie ult, and this is Siren Vibes, by the way. These guys are a team of what I call all-stars. These guys have had their own teams and been in the finals, and now they're all together. These are 3 captains from separate teams, and they joined forces for this qualifiers and decided to be together. So I'm interested to see how their results will end up, and who knows, you know, what they can do as a team, because we've seen them separately against each other actually, and now they're actually competing with each other. So this is CBL at its finest, kind of uniting rivals.
That's awesome. You see that they're running a Watson too. That's a kind of it's kind of a special pick. You know, you don't really see Watson being run, especially like in ALGS, at least not in the NA region. But Watson definitely has some good things to bring to the table. You know, she can set up the borders, the perimeter security, you know, all that kind of stuff. And her ultimate against Gibraltar ultimate is just incredible.
Yeah, I think just to go with what you're saying, for me, I call her a winner. I think she's not picked a lot and all that, but so isn't Gibby. Gibby doesn't have a high pick rate. He's picked a lot in our tournaments, but as far as in the pubs, he's not picked. And I think Watson has that same type of setup where she might not be the most attractive for a casual, but she's a winner. And if you can surround your team to complement her, then I think you could do some great things. And this is a very interesting comp. Speaking of that, never mind that they have a Watson, they got a Bangalore and a Watson. Two picks that aren't like the meta, let's just say, in here. So that is interesting, and we'll see how they'll play with this. And I don't mind this. I think it's interesting. And oh my, they're getting hit from a team in front of them. And this is what I was talking about, those rotation moments on getting caught up. And now you got to make a play. What are we gonna do? We're gonna push this, we're gonna back off. They have a team behind them earlier, and then now they have a team right in front of them. So we'll see how this one plays out for them. Of course, they got that Valkyrie ultimate, maybe if they in a couple seconds she's about to be able to call it. It's already at 94%, but you got to be careful because they will be getting hit by this team at the same time. So super interesting. I'm sure they'll probably call it here and then get out of the situation. Like, get out of jail free card, guys. They don't have a Gibby to protect them, so it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to play this. Look at this, just playing it safe and saving that ult. Smart move here. Maybe I would have panicked and called it up and get out of there.
I probably would have done the same.
For everybody watching, about the standings, if you go to madgamer.com, you can go to the court battle section, and there are all the standings and information there. I actually haven't made a command for the standings alone, but if you type in you go to the leaderboards, it'll be there. So that's how you see. And we're gonna stick to this situation because I do believe they're gonna get into a fight. He's staring at a wall at the moment, but there are two teams in this area, and we'll see how it works in just a second. I'm gonna go ahead and take a third-person view. I don't do this enough, which I need to. Looking at the team to the right, which is Raven Clan, and actually they have about 4 teams in this area, and 2 teams right on top of each other, and one on this backside where they were just fighting with. So the boys for the team that were pushing them back, and they're on the opposite side doing a good job here with this charge rifle. One of those weapons that I used to get annoyed by when I got hit. What is going on? What is this? What is this?
It always seems like it's so much more because it's just a laser coming right at you.
Yeah.
But I love using the charge rifle, especially you know, just getting that poke damage, leveling up those evos.
Definitely.
You
Farming
see it in
damage is
professional play.
big. So in this scenario right now, as you're seeing, you're sitting here as the boys on the edge. You know the ring's gonna close in you in a second. You're gonna find out what is the next move in just a second, but they're doing a good job farming some damage and then, you know, keeping the teams back. For me, farming damage isn't the only thing you're doing. You're also letting teams know, hey, you ain't coming over here.
Right, showing presence is just as important.
Definitely. So it'll be interesting to see what the boys do here. They're gonna have to rotate as we see the ring is starting to close up on them. They have to get deeper into this scenario. There's already a lot of teams on the backside of this, and there's some teams currently in a fight, and we're gonna go ahead and take a look, see what's going on. You too trying to stay active actually gonna go ahead and take out Tor, see what they're doing in this scenario. Teams on both sides trying to figure it out.
They're in a really difficult place here. They know that they have to get to zone, but there's so many teams that are in their way, standing in their way. But that Gibraltar bubble, man, that can go a long way.
Definitely can, and it's one of those things where timing is everything. Timing is everything. As you can see right now, again, scanned, getting hit. But look at this, exactly what we were talking about earlier, being able to use that ash for that vertical. Beautiful shots with the massive down in the player, and Raven Clan in it thick, getting two of their players taken out. And man, oh man, great stuff right here by we'll call him Turbo from now on, all right? Sorry guys, hope you don't mind. Team Turbo. And that is right there, just the beginning for them. There's 10 teams left. The third ring is in play right now, and it's still super early. I like it. I like it. I like it. And let's go ahead and check out Siren. We were looking at them earlier. They weren't in the action as much, and now they're actually in it thick. One of their players is down. They're getting hit extremely hard, and Bangalore goes down. They're down to their last player. It's looking like Torres, the team to beat right now, cleaning it up as best as they can and doing a good job right there against Siren. And this team is brand new to us, coming on board, signing up and playing in these tournaments. Again, everybody's welcome to join. If you follow that link, madgamer.com/core battle league, you're able /CBL, or just go to corebattleleague.com. You'll be able to see the standings for anybody wondering what the standings are. Understand these standings are not the same. Some teams have played 4 games already, some only played 2. There's new teams today, so they only played 1. Doesn't mean that they're not going to be able to move up the rankings. They will once they play all their 10 games. So still a lot of game left. Hey kid, what are we calling this team here?
I'm down with Turbo. I was just watching this guy's wingman shots, and that's the one thing about the wingman. It's just so unforgiving. If you hit the shot, it's a great hit, a lot of damage. If you miss a shot, then you know you gotta make sure you hit your shots, get that damage off. But the wingman is definitely a hard gun to master.
Yeah, it's a skill-based weapon, and you know you rock a R301 because you want that reliability, that easy recoil, and it's a great weapon. But the wingman is a superior weapon if you can hit your shots. Now that's skill-based, so anybody using it is trying to be top tier, and that's just something I've always noticed from these top players, those guys that are willing to use it, you know, perform very well if they can hit their shots. And we're gonna take a quick look over on the other side. These boys, them boys are on the backside here with a team close to them, and they're trying to figure out what to do here. I don't like the fact that one of their players is still on a white shield right now. There's no way you can't just pop a couple shots and get to blue at the first person you see, you know?
You know, and the second that they start getting shot, you know, the other team's gonna call out that they have a white shield, and then that's all the more reason to just full push that team. Especially if the other team's got like triple purple, or, you know, maybe a couple blues, maybe a gold, but definitely a white shield this late in the game. I mean, you make do with what you got, right?
Yeah. I mean, you do what you got, but farms, I mean, especially in this map, you can farm the creatures. Go ahead and figure that out, you know. And we're gonna look at this, ladies and gentlemen. YouTube trying to drop it like it's hot. and they actually went underneath. I thought they were going to jump on top on that vac wall. They dropped under, which gives them a little moment here, but this is a very vulnerable space to be in, and now they're going to have to figure it out and get busy, which is always the fun part. Now, if you get into a fight and you don't finish it quick, that's where those third parties come into play, and they will come at you quick. So being careful and taking care of business. Personally, I asked Respawn to disable the feed completely, but they didn't listen to me. We do have an anonymous mode now, but I would prefer the feed to be gone so teams can't see what's going on, and they have to go by pure game sense.
And that's one of the things I found with Stormpoint too. Like when you're playing pubs, is that you can run around for 10 minutes and have it just be completely quiet. But as soon as you hear gunfire, you know that you and your team are running and making a beeline for that fight because you want in.
Totally agree with that. And I think right now, our teams are just pumping their chests, waiting for the ring to close, but they're gonna have a very vulnerable situation.
You see a Kraber in play too.
Those shots with that charge, nothing. Now let's go ahead and rotate around. We're looking at the boys right now in the middle of it, getting pushed very hard by you two. And great stuff by you two. Only 5 teams left, guys. It's pretty crazy right now. We're gonna go check out Tor, who's also busy right now. They do have a Kraber though. I like that. And they're gonna hit their Gibby bombardment, their defensive bombardment, and try to survive this scenario. Not easy. They are getting pushed and hit pretty hard to down a player, and they did get their bat off. And beautiful shots right here with the Kraber. It's not enough to down anybody though. This is those type of situations you want to down at least one player to give yourself at least a 2-on-2 and not give the other team an advantage. And speaking of advantage, they are running into a second team. This is what I said, Battle Royale at its finest is when you're watching multiple teams surviving. And let's just take a quick look at Torb. Barely surviving down to the last player, getting hit pretty hard. This is a great push right here. 2-on-1, and they cleaned it up. And that right there, my friends, leaves it to 4 teams, and you two staying busy and doing work right now. And you gotta love it. And what you gotta pay attention to is that there's more than one team sitting comfortable waiting for this ring to close, trying to hold their positions. Let's take a quick look around. Reapers are at high up and holding a very, very good spot. This is possibly one of the best spots right now in a scenario where they can just tunnel teams and let them fight each other and then figure it out from there. So good stuff by Reapers at the moment. It's gonna basically force other teams to battle each other as the ring closes, and could get interesting. And let's take a quick overview on the map. As you can see here, Reapers above and everybody below will end up bumping heads in this scenario as they try to figure it all out, while Reapers stay in control at the top comfortably in this scenario.
It was like what you were saying before, you know, RVN has a god spot in this zone, but it's the whole thing of being god tier and being able to hold those teams back and maybe push one team into another team to make them fight, and then just clean up after.
Yeah, it's gonna get interesting. Let's take a quick look on the actual action and see you two doing a good job here from this backside. Very comfortable popping off some shots down in a player, but still a lot of teams left here, so you gotta be patient and not forced to fight just yet. And here it is right here. The push begins, and this is where you see what you're made of in these last moments. Final ring. U2 going ahead and pushing up on Raven and doing a good job there, taking them down. One last player. Oh my goodness. Beautiful stuff here by U2, surviving. Last team alive. Wow. And they have them on the edge here. Oh my goodness. It's about to go down, and wow.
The damage
U2.
taker. Oh my god.
What did you see there, kid?
The damage just taken off over and over. And amazing shots.
Let's watch that replay and see what we had going on. And these guys were on the opposite side of where Raven was when they had the God spot, but Raven had to drop down as well, so it wasn't a good look for them actually in the end, because the ring closed off and forced them into trouble as well. So pretty much every team a little bit vulnerable here. Somehow U2 found a way to eliminate some teams and also survive the scenario, so pretty good by them. As you can see here, just smart movement and waiting and forcing that team into that corner and just making them feel the pressure. And then they basically try to regroup down there and heal up. While that was happening, U2 kind of prepped for the last push here. And they got it done. It was perfectly done right there. Great stuff. Great stuff. Again, you guys are watching Core Battle League. I know you're used to the leaderboard scores updates. Today we don't have them officially, but we are showing you the numbers and the performances out there that is happening. Some incredible stuff. That last game was kind of crazy, I'll be real, for the finale there. Nice little situation. And that's the type of stuff I love about Battle Royale, is the end of it all, how it all plays out, and the best of the best make it through. So we're going to be right back in just a second. Hope you guys are enjoying it. When we come back, we're going to play game number 4 right away, and then continue, because we have a total of 6 games. We're going to game 4 shortly.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Hope y'all enjoying. I'm in the middle of managing all this at the same time. I'm going to showcase this results of some of these players and what they did. And look at you two just blowing up. Ridiculous. I can't even fathom what they just did on that last game. That is insane. And big props to them going forward. From here, I'm sure they're going to be on top of the leaderboards and doing some wild things as we go forward. Hope y'all enjoying it. So far, it's just the beginning. Still very early and a lot of games to play as we go forward. We're going to go ahead and take a look as the new game just begins. We're on game number 4. There is some action happening right now. So it is still a lot of games to play. Look at this. Toward cleaning up shop right here. Early on when you drop this hot, that's really nice. Valk. Oh, and man, oh man, Siren Vibes getting eliminated in the drop of game number 4. Wow. Well, that's a way to begin and get some easy KP for Tor here as they continue to reign supreme on some of their actions. And again, it's still very early. A lot of games to play. We have 3 in total left. This one and 2 more. So if you're just tuning in, thank you for watching. Come show love and support. Your support is needed and wanted. All right, we're trying to build this movement, build the brand, build the community, and we're doing a lot of new things. One of them is bringing people on board. We have a special guest, the kid. Got to give him a break. He's been here carrying me with his commentary today. You there, kid?
Yeah, I'm here. I wouldn't say carrying, but yeah, I'm trying to hold it down, you know.
Do you think? Do you doing your thing, man? And I'm sure the community likes it. I could tell from one of their comments in there. Just so we know, everybody, we're streaming this on 30 plus platforms. So we're live on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. We're on Twitter. Literally, if you go to any platform that you could think of from Asia, we have special places over there that we're streaming on, to any side of the world. Pretty much you name and we're there. That's what I like to do, kind of offer our content to the whole world instead of exclusively to one. Of course, we would like to be partnered, but that would take a lot of time and effort from you guys to come on board and subscribe and watch all of our streams. And hey, you do that, we'll do it. We'll become partnered with one of them and stick with it. But for now, we're live everywhere. So appreciate everybody watching. We don't interact with the commentary as much as we should as far as the community, but don't worry, we're changing some things. We're gonna have like viewer polls, what team you want to watch, you can vote for that. We're gonna do stuff like that in the near future. So speaking of near future, UMP coming back. It's a team we've seen before in the past last year for our events, and now they're back with vengeance. We'll see what they can do today to build up their name again, showcase they got what it takes to compete. And right now they're rocking that L-Star, man. The L-Star, bro. What you know about that thing?
I have a love-hate relationship with the All-Star, man. I think it's the same thing as like my opinion with the Kraber. You know, if I'm on the receiving end of it, I hate it. If I have it in hand, then it's good.
Yeah, it's one of those. I mean, I don't mind the L-Star. I don't think it's that crazy. But it could be interesting when you do get hit with it. I'm like, what the hell? It's kind of the way it hits. It's just, that's what gets me actually. The way it hits you when you're getting hit by it. Like, what the, just like bizarre compared to the regular weapons. And speaking of regular weapons, let's rotate around and watch Grape Shot. They're in the middle of some action right now, and they are pushing a team, but they got to be careful because one of their players gets down in that push. And this is that thing about that separation. If you're not with your team, there's a problem. One of their teammates pushed up too far, he paid the price, and now they're gonna have to either take this fight or rotate out of there and survive without him. And it looks like they're gonna go ahead and rotate out of there for the moment and regroup.
That's probably a smart play. You know, you got one teammate who's on a blue shield and one who's still on white. Maybe not the fight that you want to take right now. Maybe just play for banners.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And could get interesting for them as far as what they want to do, but we're going to rotate above them so we can see what is going down, which is the Goons right now. Raven Clan in the mix right now, trying to get some work done and figure it out right here. As you can see, they're popping some good shots, and they actually have like 3 or 4 teams just surrounding them, but we're working on grape shot below for a little while. Now they're gonna rotate and make a move. So we all know this map. I mean, we should all know this map if you're an Apex player, especially competitively. This is a very, very well-known map. And the reason I say that and the reason I bring that up is because I would like to kind of discuss rotations as far as landing and what's the best zones to be in. We're going to take a look at the map, showcase that just a little bit here. As you can see, right now the ring is closing pretty much dead center in the south, so I like it. I think this could get interesting. I wouldn't mind a lava siphon spot to be the closing area. It could get interesting in there. That'll be a fun finale to see how it all plays out. Your thoughts, kid?
No, I agree. I love Lava Siphon. I love it on drop. I love it for Final Zone. You know, you can pack so many teams into just that one little spot with so much cover. You have the roof, you have underneath, you have inside. I think it's a great starting point, like a drop spot. You know, you got good loot, good rotations from there. But I would love to see a Lava Siphon zone.
Right. Yeah, we'll see where this plays out, but I like what I'm seeing overall for the map right now and these teams going forward. And we're going to rotate just a little bit, try to see what is going on in the actual and here we go as we see the Phantoms putting in some work, trying to get things done, and they're gonna loot up as they go. And I don't think they finished this team fully off, so they got to be careful with their last player in the area. Good stuff by Phantom there.
Absolutely. You know, you get quick kills, get quick KP, and then just move on. You know, it's a great way to go. Make sure that you solidify points early on.
We can cruise over here.
Yeah, points is everything, to say the least. And we're going to rotate around to KOD. Points is everything. Surviving gives you placement points, but if you don't get KP, then you might be suffering because placement isn't enough, especially with these teams who get first place and end up with over 10 kills. It's insane. So we gonna see.
Look how many teams are just in that harvester area. You know, it's about to just go off.
Oh yeah, it is. And talking about go off, it looks like High Peak is going off right now. Let's see what they got.
We see Bloodhound back in.
I'm liking to see Caustic. I feel like this meta Caustic and Gibby has been special because that defense, man, defense wins championships, really does. And we're gonna
Absolutely.
rotate. Want to see where the action is right now. I know there's a lot of teams getting ready. Here we got the goons popping some shots. So who stands out for you tonight? What have you been seeing and you've been liking from which teams or teams?
I gotta say that my pick right now is U2. You know, they popped off first game, second game. I think they had what was it, like 14 kills or 16 kills or something like that. But they're going in, they're playing it smart. You know, they're picking up any damage that they can, the kills, making sure to keep an ear out for third party opportunities and everything. I think they're just playing really smart, really aggressive. I love the aggressive play style. I think they're doing a great job.
Totally agree. And right now, Phantoms are a little busy getting in on some action, but deciding to rotate just a little bit, trying to play a little smart here, which is always good. I always say play smart. Smart is the way you win. And there's so many teams on the board. 15 teams still early on with the second ring happening right now. We're gonna see some crazy action shortly. I feel like this is the round for that.
You know, Phantom's kind of in a weird spot right now. They know that they have a team right ahead of them, but they could rotate back, but they'd have to go back through the zone. You know, have to figure out what they want to do. Maybe back up and Valk ult. Hard choice.
I mean, it's a good time to make that decision because on the third ring, it isn't so bad when it comes to the damage the ring does. So it could be a good move, but it's all one of those things we were talking about earlier, the game sense. It's not an easy thing to be right? My decision this one moment might work, but in a different scenario might not play out the same. So it's one of those hard choices of what to do: push, back off, or rotate. And let's go ahead and watch High Peak right now. They're very busy about to push this team above them. Very dangerous to push teams that are above you, and it cost them one of their players. And Phantom is the one that they're going to be trying to push here. And look at that, Phantom comes out clean in that scenario, doing a good job.
Done here. So let's get you a do-over, huh?
And they end up being the victors in that specific situation. And we're gonna go ahead and check out Adala, who's been kind of quiet, but they've been scoring big, doing a good job. Adala really sneaking their points in, and then not winning the actual games, but getting a bunch of KP and some decent placement. And these guys, like I said, they're on top of the scorers at all times, top 5, top 3 at times. So it's interesting to see, you know, how it all plays out for them.
Ultimate accelerant here.
And this team right here has 7 kills, and Tur is currently, you know, kill leader right in here, and they're actually in the mix against the team who also has 7 kills. Wow, you two coming back, and hey, you called it, man. These guys are going nuts. They actually only have 4 kills on this game. Apologies. Phantoms are the ones with 7. But U2 has been performing very well, just like Kid said. And he's always feel free to chime in on, you know, the action or whatever he's thinking in this situation here. Like looking at the team, he said is a team to watch more or less, or that he was interested in seeing what they've been doing. And right now they're getting ready to push up again and being extra aggressive. You gotta love that. It's just beautiful stuff right now. The synergy and the aggression working out for them, of course, but it's not an easy thing. As you can see, they're pushing this last player and getting super aggressive on them. Eva shots, cleaning it up, perfectly done. Flatline and Eva, guys, the standard, the gold standard.
You know, a lot of people talk bad about the Eva after it's been nerfed, but I still think that I really like the Eva. You know, it's a consistency for me, man. You know, like how many times have we been running a PK and you hit a 99 and it's beautiful, and then you hit a 9?
Yeah, I think it's just like we were talking about earlier. Good topic. The facts are that with a wingman, for example, when you hit your shots, it's beautiful. If you don't, you have a rough night. And the same thing with the Peacekeeper. It's that same type of element where it's very, very high skill, and it could be very, very difficult if you miss your shots. And with the Eva, much like other weapons like a R301, you can miss some shots and you can still have that consistency, just like a R301. And look at this, getting pushed. Rusty, oh my goodness, he does throw his giving bombardment up there, and then hopefully it works out for him. But man, oh man, he's caught all alone in here. The Raven clan coming in hot, and they do down him. My oh my, Raven goons coming in guns blazing, and they get hit also by his teammates. So now it's a 1-on-2 scenario. Who's gonna be the victor in this scenario? We can only see the down players for some reason, but trying to see the actual. Here he is, and one last player on Team Rusty Saloon, and then Raven Clan still has 2, but they got to be very careful. There's multiple teams in this area, and there's a tough situation. And my oh my, that thermite hit beautifully. Somehow surviving for a while and finally getting down. Guess what? Coming up right on top is the goons, doing a good job there to clear that situation. They came out of nowhere, flying in from the Valkyrie. That was a super aggressive Valkyrie, and I love to see that because normally we see that as a defensive ultimate, but she can be super aggressive when you need her, and that's what I love about her, the flexibility in her play. And the goons trying to make a run here, score some points here. We'll see what they can do. It's last 6 teams left. We're gonna rotate around and check in on some actual action. It's looking like AM1 popping shots with that L star.
And they're so close to zone too. Got a caustic ultimate in there.
Doing a good job to revive his teammate, at least giving him a moment. But it looks like C2N coming out to try to clean up their mess that they made there. And so far so good. I'm loving this Peacekeeper job. Talking about Peacekeeper is not an easy weapon to use compared to an Eva. And to talk about the Eva, man, that thing was broken for years. Nobody did nothing about it. It's like Gibby. And finally they nerfed it a bit. So that's why a lot of guys walked away, because they want to try to use whatever's most powerful. Man, oh man, right now getting cleaned up from AM. That right there was great stuff by AM. Scoring some major points needed in this scenario. They got 5 KP off that. And there's teams right below them, and the ring is closing on them. They got to be very careful here in this scenario.
Oh, that was lucky. That was a lucky Phoenix.
It was. That ring was definitely going to take them out one last bit. And right now they're going to hold back. We're going to rotate around and see the busy team, the Phantom, who has 7 kills. Guess who has more than them? U2. Okay. That's crazy, the amount of kills. 10 kills for U2 right now. And they're facing all odds against them because they're in the open. And here it comes. Raven is getting pushed by Phantom. Phantom's on fire right now. Can they continue their reign, or will Raven shut that down? Looks like they did clean up Phantoms, but let's rotate around into U2, who are staying busy. They have 10 kills. And my, oh my, the last 2 teams, here it is. One team, U2, has 12 kills and Phantom has 10. These teams both going crazy when it comes to KP. And the grand finale is coming up right now. They're already starting up their fight. And U2 has the high ground at the moment. So that is really nice for them. They're going to be able to suppress U2 just a little bit. Finding a good angle here. U2 is going to have to figure out what they need to do to rotate during this fight. That's where this scenario gets thick. You're battling players. You're battling the ring. Trying to see who can win it all. Flatline shots are hitting really nice right now. And it looks like the Phantoms are on the brink of elimination as U2 pushes up and basically has one of their players down and the other two's dealing with the ring and possibly going to get eliminated right here. Great stuff by U2. Oh, beautifully done by U2. Man, they scored 15 kills on that one game.
Yeah, U2 just went absolutely nuclear that game.
Apex champions.
Love to see it. Props to them. And let's take a quick look at the grand finale. What I liked about this situation for YouTube, as you can see, they're holding that high ground and they're keeping that position for a while. They don't want to just give it up. But what I like here, what I saw from Hits Tyler, is that he rotated deeper to the right side to get an angle and basically make these guys vulnerable. And it worked very well. It was perfectly done. If you want to give me your thoughts and opinion on this here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, when he went off to the right to find a better angle, he forced Gibby bubble from the other team. So automatically, you know that when that bubble goes down, they're not going to have it again for a while. It leaves them totally open to hit him for more, maybe crack a couple shields, hopefully knock him down, and that's exactly what they did.
Definitely. All right, so guys, we're gonna take a quick minute here. We got 2 more matches to go. We're gonna be right back very shortly. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. It's been a fun one, and we got 2 more games to see who's the top dog of them all for tonight. I'll give it a YouTube right now for doing some work. We'll be right back shortly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. I'm setting up the second lobby for these teams. They're currently taking a quick second break to prepare themselves for this next match. There's only 2 more left, actually. That was game number 4. And we're going into game number 5, number 6, right after this. We should be getting started soon once the players get in. We don't want to give too much time to the players to hang out because then we will have a lot of people waiting. So we basically have a very short cycle, 5 to 10 minutes most in between matches, keeping it very short and to the point. For those watching and you want to know the score or anything like that, you can look up exclamation ApexCBL or type in leaderboards. Things like that will trigger the actual standings and the information. So I'm gonna go ahead and type that in the chat for you guys right now. ApexCBL. And then that should open up the command. Oops, wrong one. Let's do leaderboards. There you go. And there you go. You can check out the information. Today's tournament, we're not displaying the actual setup as we normally do for various reasons we're not going to get into. But you want to keep track. Like I said, pay attention to the stream. We'll showcase some key components that you need to know. Okay. Besides that, it should be a great night. 2 more games. I have a great commentator, actually. Big props to him for being a part of the movement as we go. And everybody else is welcome to, get a part of this. We're going to start putting the community deep involved in our events, not just watching, but you can be a part of it too. So feel free, lock in. Okay.
Yo, what up?
And we have the kid. Are you back?
I am here.
He is here, everybody. We are live and everybody can hear you. And we are, he went to go get some snacks, man. He got Doritos. I would love me some Doritos. I don't eat Doritos often. Would be nice.
I love Doritos. All right, what flavor is better though? Red Dorito or blue Dorito?
You know what's crazy? I don't eat them. That's what I was saying. So I don't eat them enough. All these years, I just eat them casually. So I've never done like a test, like sit down, like which one is better? I never buy them. So it's always eating them casually. This is a great like between game break conversation for everybody listening. I don't know. It's a debate. You guys tell us in the chat. Doritos, red or blue? It's like Coke or Pepsi. You know what I'm saying? Like similar but a little different. And then you're like,
right.
Well, I have this weird thing where like I like Coke with Chinese food, but then I like Pepsi with like some chips. You know what I mean? Like it's just weird like that.
No, I feel you, because like I understand the logic behind it. I just never thought about it like that.
Yeah, so when I order Chinese food, I will put some Coke on that. But if you're telling me to go to the corner store and buy a snack, I'll get some Pepsi and and a bag of chips with it, like Doritos. So Yeah, anyways, that's enough of that. Everybody watching on the stream, somebody's asking, qualifier events like 10 matches? No, the way it works is it's 10 tournaments you can play in, so you have a chance. Originally when we did our tournaments, we had qualifiers. You play, and if you win, you can advance to the majors, to the playoffs. We changed that format and we made it so that now you can play in 10 games and try to score as much as you can, and it's about the score that's going to let you get into the playoffs. So if you score high after those 10 events, then you're going to be able to proceed to the next chapter, which is the playoffs. That's the system. Pretty straightforward when it comes to setups. Try to score as much as you can, and we'll go from there. But with all that out of the way, we are going to start the game in a second here. We're just letting the teams jump on board, and we'll get this rolling right after. What you're watching is the general setup. You're going to play in 10 qualifiers. You don't have to play in 10. Honestly speaking, it doesn't matter. But if you don't play in 10, there'll be somebody else who does and possibly scores more than you. Then all of a sudden you wish you played that last game and scored as much as you could. No. But yeah. So everybody's on the chat trying to vote. Red. Somebody said purple. We were talking about Doritos earlier, and it's a fun topic. I think I would have to do a test. I'm gonna buy some Doritos. I'm going to the store specifically and get 2 bags. The problem with that is when you taste something, it's all in your mouth, and you go to bite something else, it's kind of a mixed flavor. So that's a whole different topic, man. Oh man, you gotta wash it down, and oh man,
You get like nacho cheese, Cool Ranch all together.
exactly. But yeah, so next game is about to begin. Thank you guys for watching. So far so good. 2 more games to go. We don't have the leaderboards for you guys. You can calculate your own scores. All right, we need some score keepers. I have 1 scorekeeper, and she could not make it today, so I'm not gonna hold her responsible. I got to get a full team, which I will at some point, so that we could all take turns doing scores and doing all that. I can't do the scores and cast at the same time. It's just a lot of work. I prefer to enjoy the casting other than just doing scores while I scream about who's getting shot. But yeah, we're gonna get started in a second, everybody. Just please hold. Let me show you guys the actual leaderboard points so you can know what happened on that last game. At least it was kind of crazy. I'm gonna be honest. If you look at U2, they are just 15 points on that last game. That is insane. Okay, Phantoms were right next door to them, scoring 11, and then you had other teams doing okay. I'm kind of surprised today. It feels like the top team from last week is not doing that well. And it's funny you say they're not doing that well, and it's called a dollar. They have 5 kills. Okay, they placed 9th. That's good. But for their standard, which is very high, they could be doing better. But yeah, so that is the general setup. We're about to get started with our next game. I hope y'all enjoying these events. Again, it's just a warm-up as we go for the next month and a half. You're going to see a lot of these qualifiers, and going to bring in a lot of good commentators, like the kid. Maybe he'll become a regular, who knows. And then you have other, and by the way, I'm not calling him the kid because I'm some old fart. All right,
his actual name is Kid. At least that's what he calls himself.
Yeah, just kid.
Am I right?
Yep, it's just kid.
See? Just Kid. So, yeah, just to be clear, just in case anybody understands. What place do you need to get to qualify? That's a good question, and I'll explain it like this. There's no exact number on the amount of points you need to get. As far as placement goes, we haven't announced the official playoffs setups. At the moment, it looks like we'll have 30 teams in the playoffs. I feel like we should have 40 because our community's growing, and with 40 we can really get wild. The playoffs is going to be a little bit different than what we have here, and I was thinking maybe turn it up to 40. We originally had 40 before one of our previous ones, and I thought that would work out best in my opinion. I don't know yet, but basically be in the top 30 for sure if you really want to be the best. Okay, so the best way to do that is to play 10 games. And then you're good to go. With 10 games, you're gonna have the highest scores. Apologies, I was in the middle of messaging these players to get this match started. So you play the 10 events, score as high as you can, and I'm sure you possibly could make the 30. Okay. Right now, if you look at the highest score in the standings, that's not important because they haven't played 10 games yet. 10 events, and you got to play 10 events. So until we finish one full team off that can get 10 games in, we won't know what's like a standard of points that you'll need. So that's why it's good to come in and do your part. But yeah, so we're gonna get started very shortly. Apologies for the delay. This one team doesn't have an idea of how to name themselves on the lobby. They've been playing this and they're like a bunch of rookies. Rocket science all of a sudden. So apologies, guys. But we'll get started shortly. What was the other question? If you're only to make it to one event, somebody said if we make it only, well, what if we can only make it to one event? Well, you shouldn't be playing. You can play in one event all you want, but don't assume you're gonna make a playoff if you don't have any commitment to play in more than just one event. Talking about 2 months worth of games, and it should be very easy to at least make a few of those. You don't got to make all 10 events. You can make a few within 2 months of games. You can't play 10 times. I don't know. Maybe don't play. You know, honestly speaking, we're not here to make you commit to play a certain amount. If you want to just jump in once in a while to get some practice, that's why it's open to everybody. But the teams who are in the top are the teams who are going to play consistently, who do compete and showcase that they have what it takes and they are for real, you know. So that's the best thing I could say without you know, pushing it either way. I don't know, you know. So if you can make it do what it do. But yeah, we're getting started with game number 5 officially, finally, after 2 hours of waiting for one team to name themselves. And I'm gonna put them on blast. Team Rusty doesn't know how to name themselves. Thanks. All right, game number 5. Any predictions on what is going to happen in the chat, and also to Kid, who's our guest commentator today?
Man, I gotta still stick with U2. You know, they've been pretty close to the top, if not on top, winning these games, winning their fights. I think I'm gonna stick with U2.
Yeah, I agree. They've been in the top 5 pretty much for every single round, and they won 3 times. No, I'm lying. They won twice in a row, game 3 and 4, and then you know, scoring crazy amount of points each game. So it's not like you're doing a long stretch prediction here, man. That's pretty much, you know, a great logical observation of top tier performance. And talking about top tier performance, these guys also have been performing very well. They're dropping hot in fragment. They want the smoke. I love to see it. As you can see, Phantoms deciding to loot up, and looting is a big part of the game. It's very important to loot up fast and then move forward to another area as quick as possible. Don't take up 3 hours just to grab one building. You want to get out of there, grab everything, move forward, so that way you can be ready to roll, have a little bit of everything, whether it's ammo, heals, etc., etc. Super fun to kind of see how some players play it too, as far as their actual inventory. I know it's not something we don't talk about a lot, but inventory is just as important, isn't it, kid?
Yeah, I was just gonna talk about inventory management, and I know that I've found myself, you know, in the heat of a fight, you know, we just finished a squad, and I'm looting as much ammo as I can, and I look and I have like 400 heavy ammo, and I don't need 400 heavy ammo. You know, it's just inventory management is so important, looting is so important, but you also have to know when to draw that line, when you should stop looting and just keep moving.
Yeah, most def. Yeah, I like seeing, you know, smart guys. You're rocking a shotgun, you don't need more than 1 or 2 slots at best. 2 slots, but anything past that is exaggeration, for example, and you know, the rest is the rest, and shotguns are really good for that. Actually, when you want to manage your inventory well, you can pull out a shotgun and you're good to go. And right now, Phantoms seeing some action, and they're about to get into it. Gonna rotate back, which is a smart move. Take your time. Don't get forced into a bad situation.
You know, it's another important thing too. You know, don't rush a fight. Don't run in there if you're not ready. Play it slow. Play it smart, and come out on top.
Yeah, and we're gonna see what's going on. Everybody's taking their time for now and looting up and preparing for the run. And I like to take a second to look at the actual ring and see what's going down. As you can see right now, ring is heading up towards the northeast, and could end up in the fragment area for the finale, and that would be fun. As we know, the one thing about fragment endings is people end up camping in the buildings, which is fine, but it could make for tense moments at the very end with decision making on how you're going to play that going forward. But we'll see how this one turns out for everybody on board. We're gonna go ahead and rotate around and check this out. We got one of my favorites, if not my favorite. He's like such a sleeper. I made a very, very wild prediction, which was in the ALGS finals, we will see a crypto main win the championship. That is my prediction, and I'm gonna hold myself to that. And I tweeted it, and we will see how that goes.
Yeah, there are no squads near us.
That's just my prediction. It's a wild prediction because it's not an easy legend to play. He's very difficult. So
You know, I kind of gotta agree with you though. Like his kit is insane. If you know how to play him and know how to play him well, it's like a no-brainer. Like why wouldn't you pick Crypto?
Yeah, I feel you, but I think it's just easier said than done. And to execute against dudes with Gibby, with Valkyrie, you know, with all these other utilities that are overpowered to some extent, you know, Gibby's bubbles overpowered, Valkyrie's ultimates overpowered, and there's no way to officially nerf it where it doesn't become useless. But those things are just too much compared to a legend who makes you work twice as hard for him to be great. And that's what I think Crypto offers, is he will be incredible and clutch in a lot of moments, but you have to be working double time because you're in a drone during action. That is a no-go. And then also you know, dropping his ultimate in the right scenarios. There's a lot of different things that could happen. It should be cool. It's gonna be fun, and hopefully we'll see that. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We appreciate you guys. And they're talking about holding Gibby's ult for the win. Yeah, for sure, man. Definitely. And we are gonna have like viewers' choice on who to spectate and check out. We don't have that at this very moment, but it's a good thing that I've been planning. And speaking of planning, let's go and plant ourselves to the Phantom troops here who are popping off with that wingman. Again, the skill-based weapon that me and Kid was talking about, right, Kid?
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is definitely unforgiving. No, I found if it's one thing that I can say is that if you want to get better with aim and strafing, pick up a wingman. Without a doubt.
Totally agree. I always say if you want to be a top player, practice with a wingman. Not just because you're going to use it, but it makes sure you count. It makes you think about making everything count. You can be lazy, pull out a rifle, and just pop off shots, miss 50% of your shots, or you can wingman it and understand every bullet counts. So
exactly. Like it's one thing to spray an entire mag and, like you said, miss 50% of your shots, but when you have a 6-round wingman, you have only those 6 shots. You gotta make them count.
Yep. I'm talking about making it count. Look at this right here. Adala, who has been a little quiet this tournament compared to their normal performances, and they try to make a push here, but one of their players is backing off, and we're gonna see how this one plays out for them. And they are facing AM right now, so AM1 versus Adala.
No, that's another really good thing about Crypto that I love seeing is there's so many Gibraltar picks, especially in competitive, but you have one Crypto who makes it to late game when the bubbles are going down, just one EMP ultimate from Crypto and those bubbles are gone, and then it's just carnage.
Definitely. And speaking of carnage, looking at some carnage from Adala, cleaning out one team here, and now they're going up against another. Gotta be careful in this scenario, but good stuff by them. Again, performing as their usual selves, very aggressive and consistently active. And we'll see. Right now they've got AM down to their last drop, but they do have Turbo here, Team Tur, who's currently trying to suppress them. You can see, it's looking like Adala's going to be pushing in from the inside of the building. So it's going to get real in here. The Gibby bubble going out. Shots being ran off. My, oh my, they got Adala on the edge. Wow. Turb is crazy.
That car was just singing.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Props to them for a clean wipe right there. We're gonna rotate around watching these wolves scan the area, and also very active trying to push a team who Valk ulted away to try to escape, but easier said than done when a team is hunting you down, literally. And talking about hunting down, let's rotate around, check in on Siren Vibes. Right now, a little bit busy. They have one of their players down. They put up a fight, but they're gonna try to revive their teammate in this scenario. They have Rusty right behind them, so they got to be careful. Check this out right here. As we can see, my buddy, my man right here, Crypto. Is that his heirloom?
Yeah, that's his heirloom. He's just a minor flex on all of us right now with that
He's
crypto heirloom.
flexing. He's definitely flexing. Let's take a third person view on this bad boy. And that's Covert Ops, actually. A really great player, great person. Somebody we can count on and depend on as a player and as a person in our community. So props to him. But this is hilarious right now. Thank you for showing it off. We get to do a little bit of advertisement. This is out right now. And I will admit, I'm a season 0 player, but I do not have one heirloom.
Oh no, bro.
Well, you know,
no.
let's just leave that comment alone. Right. Let's change the topic. So right now we're looking at a really cool heirloom, and I love it. And actually, what's funny is there's some animations that come with this heirloom when he's activating the, what's it called, the beacon. So unlike a lot of the others who don't have extra animations, this one does, and this was pretty tight, man. And I like it. Again, Crypto is one of my favorite legends. I know he's not popularized, but when the players ask me how to get good, I tell them play Crypto, because he's gonna make you think about the ring. He's gonna make you think about your positioning, locating where the enemies are. It's gonna make you think about every single thing instead of you just running around with a, you know, grapple for Pathfinder or Gibby bubble to just get away with murder. You know. But speaking of that, let's go ahead and rotate into the trouble that we see from the wolves right now. Wolves fighting U2, team that we know that has been incredible today, and it's going down right now between these two teams. We'll see who got what it takes. Of course, we know what U2's been doing. Wolves have been doing okay. I couldn't say that they're like top tier right now, but they've been performing all right, if you ask me.
Yeah, the good thing is that the Wolves are pretty good set up right now with 3 purple armors, you know. I'm not sure what U2 has, but at least they've got purple.
Yeah, for sure. And the Wolves performed well in the previous round, and they still have a long way to go because it is not over yet, and they're pushing up on U2 right now, and I like that aggressiveness. They're not afraid, and U2's on their back. See how they respond to this push here. Shots being ran off, R301 and the car, and look at this. Wraith tactical to get back, and their team is pushing back. They lost one of their players. I think that might have been their downfall. They probably should have stayed in there, YOLO'd it, and pushing back sometimes can cost you your life because you're running away and you're getting hit without doing any damage. So they are gonna continue this fight, staying aggressive. We'll see how this plays out for them. They're actually fighting against the Phantoms, by the way, guys. They pushed U2 away. And Phantom's been on fire as well, so this is interesting. And Phantom cleaning it up, doing a good job here against the Wolves.
Like you were saying, it's one thing to push a team, but when you make a decision as a team, you have to go through with it as a team. If you're gonna push up, your entire team goes. If you're gonna fall back, your entire team comes with you too. That's one thing. It's so important not to split up.
Yeah, it's just tough. And as a leader, you make the call and you hope that it works out for your team, because it doesn't always, and that's a part of growing and figuring out what works, what doesn't work, the best timing for things. And that's where you have a legend who can give you that escapability. For example, Ash is a nice one that I think, should be used more for that type of scenario where you need to escape. Really good. And we're gonna rotate around, guys. And no, we're not. Let's just stay right here and watch Phantom. There's two teams battling. They're gonna third party this situation. Actually, look at this. They're deciding to rotate out of it. Allow these two teams to figure out their fight while they get deeper into the ring. Smart move. They could have took that third party fight. Instead, they're rotating around, and hopefully they don't die in this warning here. They made it. Interesting decision here, and they can actually still suppress that team just a little bit if they want. And it looks like that's what they're gonna probably try to do. Let's go ahead and rotate around so you guys can see U2 in action. His team was hot and they're still in the thick of it. Down a player. Swapping shields. And doing a good job right there. Cleaning things up pretty well. Man, oh man, surrounding this player, having to figure it out by himself. Chasing him down, doing good stuff here. U2 cleaning it up. Two players though. Gotta be careful.
Looks like that Wraith disconnected. Hopefully they get back in.
What was that?
Looks like the Wraith on YouTube disconnected, so hopefully they can get back in.
For sure. And right now, Phantoms is trying to wait for this portal, but I don't think it was the best scenario for them right now. They should have held on to that portal for later. And they're in the thick of it. There's multiple teams in this area. 6 teams left, 5th round in game 5 of the qualifiers.
That's another thing, like you were mentioning about saving that portal for later in the game, is that when it comes down to late game, you want to make sure that your legend has everything that they need to have the best possible outcome. If that means holding on to an ultimate, like a Valk, Skyward Dive, maybe you might need it later. But it's like a match of Apex is like a game of chess. Everything has to be thought out.
Definitely. That utility is what I like to call it. It's not a word we use much in Apex as much, but the utility of these tacticals or these ultimates are as critical as can be. And right now we're looking at Grapeshot using that smoke perfectly here, giving themselves some cover and staying out of trouble for the moment. And this is kind of those situations where you want other teams to push each other and you can come in hot, give a third-party fight and stuff like that. But at the moment, Grapeshot is getting hit by this team, and now they're gonna try and rotate. And again, that Bangalore smoke, always useful. You can throw it at an enemy, basically blind them that way and do a little bit of damage, 10%. And it looks like Bangalore's about to go down. She's getting targeted hardcore. And she got to find some cover and some heal. She is down. And great shot. Down a player. Surviving in the middle of the madness. We got Team Rust still alive. Underrated team we haven't talked much about since they blew up and won a game. And Phantom still in the building. C2M's just hiding out, ratting it out, and they get eliminated as I say it. Caster's curse.
Unlucky.
Definitely. And right now we're gonna watch Underrated. I feel like this might be their game. This might be their chance. It might be their moment. They're in the edge here. They got to be very careful. They do have a Valk. I would want to save it also again for a few moments later. These two teams are battling, so they have a chance to back off. Let's go and watch these teams battling right now. U2 is getting down and dirty, but they're down to the last player. They're getting hit very hard, and they get eliminated as well. Now it's down to 3 teams. Moves so fast. The Phantom versus Underrated. Underrated going sky high to scout the area, and they're gonna rotate around and catch them from above. 3 teams left.
Great play. Get up there, get all the information, figure out
First one's on you. Woo!
where everybody is, get everything that you need to know so that your whole team knows, and then make a play from there.
And using the smoke to infiltrate like a stealth master. And right now they got to be careful because still in the mix. Oh, there it is. Finally, now it's a one-on-one, team versus team. Underrated loses a player. Looks like Phantom is on top of this. They're gonna take this win easily. Great stuff by the Phantom. The Phantom Paint. And there goes game number 5. One more game
Great
to go,
play by
guys,
both
and we
teams.
are done for the night. It was a pretty great game number 5. Like some of that scenario there. It is just the beginning of our tournaments. We got a lot more, so make sure you sign up. Get in on these actions. With that out of the way, let's check out this quick replay. Tell me what you see here, kid, on this grand finale.
You know, just the quick armor swaps, the Valk up in the air, getting all that information like I was saying before. I mean, unfortunately, Underrated did go down, unlucky for them, but still, you know, the quick armor swaps, making sure that your shots are hitting hard. I think it was a great end game with the last 2 teams.
Yeah, I was impressed with the grand finale here. We taking that patience sometimes and letting other teams go at it, and then coming in when necessary. You know, playing confident but tactical is very critical. And right now, it was a good run. It was a good run, and we had a great finale from Phantom, who just superior in this scenario here, holding the high ground and then finishing it off well. And that, my friends, is game number 5, going to the last game. And I'd like to thank everybody that's been watching and enjoying it. More for you. One more. It's the last one. Predict this last game. I'll end up doing like 50 push-ups if you guess it right. You can't name every team. You can only name one team per person that's watching live. And let me know what you think. Kid, who do you got winning this last game?
Oh man, I don't know. The way that the Phantom just put out, like, I'm torn, man. You know, I was really holding out for U2. U2 has been on fire all day, but Phantom has been pretty close right up to him. So that's a tough choice, man.
Yeah.
Probably gonna. Man, I gotta be loyal to U2. I think I'm gonna stick with U2.
Yeah, I hear you, man. You've been on that team, and I definitely think they've been hot. But it's one of those things, you can't stay hot forever in Battle Royale, because there's always that unlucky moment where you drop wrong, one bad rotation, and it's like, can you keep that luck on your side where you don't fall into a third party, you know, you don't fall into bad drop where there's a couple teams in the area, things like that, dropping hot. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I was just laughing to myself this whole time because I thought of the movie, what was the name of that movie? Oh man, Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan, Money Talks or something. What was the name of that movie? They made like 3 of them. Rush Hour.
Rush Hour, yeah.
So I was thinking of Rush Hour, of the moment where Jackie Chan was in Asia and he's in some temple or something like that, and he's talking to the guy, who I'm looking, what's your name? And he's asking the guy, they're about to fight and stuff, but he's like, what's your name? And he's like, me, I'm you. And,
Yeah.
and then Chris Tucker's like, what do you mean? No, what's your name? And then they just, it was the most funniest thing, man. I'm sorry, I wish I remembered it so I could say it. But U2 has me thinking about that right now. We're gonna make a skit about them. U2, no, me. Sorry. Anyway, but game number 6 coming up shortly. In a few seconds, literally, we're gonna go right away and get this started. I hope y'all enjoying it, man. It's been fun. I really like having Kid on. I think he could put in some work here if he you know, got out here and got aggressive with this, and been very informative, very well spoken. What do you guys think in the chat? Talk to me, let me know what y'all think.
So what do you think, Mag? Do you think that since this is game 6 that the teams are just gonna, you know, put up or shut up and kind of just go hard, go all in? What do you think?
I do think that there will be a new team that we haven't seen win yet. This is what I believe. All right, so when you look at it, the first game was underrated. The second game was HP Everest. The third game was U2. The fourth game was U2. The fifth game was Phantom, right? If I'm correct.
Yeah.
And then this last game, it's gonna be a brand new team that we haven't seen win. That's my prediction. Just because it's so hard to win, and it's about situation. You can't just win just because you think you're that good. It's a situation. Your landing, your rotation. In those situations, it can be bad from the start. Some team could want to grief you right away, and it gets real out here, you know?
Yeah, I like that prediction. I'd say that's a pretty safe prediction. Honestly, I'm expecting some teams that have just been kind of laying low all day. I'm expecting like one good pop-off game, you know, where they come out guns blazing, ready to just throw it all down.
Definitely. I mean, I could see somebody in the chat said Siren. Definitely can see them win one. I could definitely see a Dollar who's hasn't performed at their fullest potential. I'm saying that, but they scored like 5 or more points per game. But their potential is like 10 per game. That's why I say that. But there's other teams in here that are really good and capable. It's, you know, Grape Shot can step it up at times, and even Raven Clan has some moments, and it's one of those things where who got what it takes is the question. Who got what it takes to pull it out in this type of scenario? This is the clutch moment where you can make your team come back, score 20 points because you popped off with a 10+ kill and got first place. You know what I mean?
Honestly, yeah, that's what I'm expecting.
Oh yeah, we gonna see. Somebody said big time agree, Kid's a great casher. Got you.
Thanks for that.
Merc Joe. I don't know what that means. Just watch them Merc Joe. Whatever that means. You guys have great rapport. Yeah, man, I'm cooling. You know, when somebody new like the kids comes on, he most likely feels like he wants to let me lead. But I actually like when these guys come on and they take over the flow, and you know, they just get into it, because it just means I can get more into it. And you know, I want him to get comfortable, and it'll take time to be one of those places where we just flow without having me to pull him in by, you know, calling him like, hey, what do you think? And it could just be natural conversation. And you know, that takes practice. The more you get into a groove with someone, you can definitely do it. You know. And kid, have you done casting before?
I have not. This is my first.
This is first, so we're popping. Well, let me not even say that. This is a PG stream. This is first. That's all we can say. So that is good. There we go. Honored to have you as our first, man.
Yeah,
Probably
man.
end up being
set up.
one of the great casters for Apex in the future, and then we had you here to start off.
I would love to see it. I would love to see it. But yeah, I'd love to come back. You know, feel free to invite me over anytime.
Right, so we're in the actual game, guys. Let's do this. Game number 6 going down. Mad Gamer and Just Kid both casting this game for you guys, and we got a lot of young blood in here as far as players go, trying to figure it out. I like Phantom, man. Phantom was doing some good things today, and then other teams stepping it up going forward. I thought it was pretty good. And whoa, wait a minute, Space
playing
Bots,
already.
they're in the mix of another team right above them. They got to be very careful. And right now they're just taking their time, rushing, looting up. And I'm always interested in this type of situation where you see a team, you know they're there. Are you gonna get aggressive, or you just want to both back off and say, hey, you know what, let's I'll see you in a minute, don't worry, let me loot up. And speaking of that, they do start a fight, and you can see Space Boats popping off some good shots here with the Gibby bubble, but they got to be careful.
Absolutely, you know, taking that time, duck out of cover, and make sure that your shields are fully healed up, charging up that rampage.
Who would have ever thought the rampage would be this useful? And my, oh my, they're getting hit from behind, guys. Wow, I love seeing third parties. I hate when it happens to me here, but Rusty coming in, guns blazing, cleaning it up. But guess who's right next door to them? HP in the mix, and they're down to their last player. Rusty doing a good job here. My, oh my, Rusty's coming out, guns blazing and scoring big. This is their first tournament with us, and they are coming out right now in this game. Nobody said their name. They coming out in this game, scoring some points, letting y'all know, hey, start talking. Start talking.
You know, it's always super important too to make sure that your back is clear, that there's not gonna be anybody that's gonna run up on you, or like at least just like leave somebody to just keep checking behind you every now and again, because that is the absolute worst. You have a team in front of you that you're fighting and everything's good, and then one team comes up from behind you and just throws everything off.
Definitely. You know, I've always laughed playing Battle Royale with people, because I play with a lot of casuals, like a lot of family and friends. And the first time they played Battle Royale, it doesn't have to be Apex, but just the general Battle Royales, the rage inside of people when they're beating a team up and then some other team comes and stomps on them,
And they're like, what the hell is this? This is stupid. This is so stupid. It is hilarious. And look at this. Crypto drone roaming the earth. Interesting.
I need a standard stock. I need optics for an SMG.
And that's got to be Siren. That's the only team we saw with a crypto at the moment. So they're sitting there trying to get some recon on their situation. We're going to rotate around. Check out your team for a second here. U2, they're deep in the ring here. They're sitting comfortable. They're going to be looting a little bit, prepping for the fight, prepping for the matches, and sitting comfortable right now. You got to love it. And they should be happy. They've scored a lot throughout this tournament.
Yeah, if only Gibraltar had a better shield, but you know, maybe do some pokes. And see, he's got the Turbo Devo, so that thing's about to put out a whole bunch of damage, so he should be able to get that up to blue, no problem.
That'd be disrespectful. That'd be disrespectful. That thing when he does hit, it slaps. I think we all, myself included, kind of ignore it because we don't have the turbo on that. But when it does have the turbo, man, I remember when I first started playing this game and way back in the good old days, the turbo was exciting, man. It was super exciting. My thing is you know, you saw him with a white shield and his team had good shield. I mean, Gibby gets an extra 50, so it's the right thing to pass up your shield if you're Gibby to your teammates. They needed a little more. They don't have that extra protection.
But I totally agree. The Devo with the turbo is just disgusting. I hate it. Okay, I hate it being used against me. I love having it.
Yeah, I mean that's with a lot of weapons, a lot of things. Third partying, Kraber, all of that.
It's just all like strategy at this point. You know, you want the best chances of everything.
Sure. And speaking of strategy, right now C2, seeing that there's a team to their left and there's another team above them, they had to be very careful there. But they didn't get pushed by the team above them. But they do have another team right in front of them, and they're about to hit them with the defensive bombardment and hope to do some damage. The team is inside, so they're comfortable and they don't have to worry much about that. Man, there's a lot of teams in this area, so they need to be careful. Good shots being ran off right now, and we're gonna see who's this second team, just to know. And wait a minute, that's the Juggernauts, and they might be the team to watch out for. Down a player at the moment. Man, oh man, Adala's been getting hit extremely hard today in this tournament right now.
There's teams everywhere. Gibraltar ultimate's going down, bubbles going down, shots ringing.
Somehow Adala survived all that too, so that's good for them. But another team is trying to push them from the back also, so Adala got to be careful. Got to finish off a team as fast as possible. All I talk about is, I keep repeating it, 60 seconds, man. If you engage, 60 seconds, try to clear them out. Don't do long, drawn out fights, because that means more teams are going to hear the shots and they're going to come after you, and it's not worth extending a fight. And there it goes right there. Team backs out. Adala's gonna get pushed by another team, I can guarantee, who's been hearing all these shots and most likely coming towards it so they can try and get a third party situation. And you can see Siren up the block here. They pulled out a Loba and they're down a player, actually, poor thing. But that's an interesting combo. A Loba and a Crypto. That's interesting. I saw Loba last year in the finals. I really loved to see her. That was actually very impressive, and she was useful in those critical moments. You can grab all the best everything during, you know, before the last round begins. She could just prep you, and it's nice when you have a good. And right now,
all the ammo, heals, all that.
Good.
you know, with Loba, you get all the ammo, you get extra heals, armor swaps, care package weapons, all that.
Definitely, definitely. And right now, these guys are not looking good. It's a real bad spot with a team above them. And then I promise you there's more than that right now. It's only the second ring, so still enough time to try to find rotation and get out of this situation. But they're going to take the fight. And I like the Sentinel. But again, like I said, multiple teams coming in hot. And Siren is in trouble, and it's High Peak coming in with some good shots and cleaning up Siren right there. And it looks like CU, that's if I'm saying it right, these guys stealing all of Loba's goodies. Thanks, Loba. And this is a good position for them. It's a team over there with only 2 players. If they recognize that, they can actually get down there and clean it up. What would you do here in this situation? Good.
Definitely loot from the black market, 100%. Get everything, get top up heals, everything like that. And then maybe knowing that there was just a duo underneath, definitely go in and try to clean house with them.
Oh my. Beautiful stuff right here by Moxie. I'm gonna call him Moxie. Moxie pushing up with this Gibby and a Peacekeeper. My favorite shotgun. I don't care what anybody says. The best shotgun is arguable, but my favorite, Peacekeeper. Nothing like hitting your shots with a Peacekeeper, reloading. Just beautiful animation, really satisfying weapon. And CU, we haven't talked much about them, man. There's some teams in here we've missed out on discussing some of their play, but let's see what they can do right now. They're just looting up and actually not doing much. We're gonna rotate around and check on the busy teams like Team U2. This is your team, kid. What are you seeing?
I'm seeing they look like they're in a little bit of trouble. They're in a lot of trouble right now. Hopefully that Val can come through with the PK shots, 301 shots, and maybe get his teammates back up. Yeah, one. I did see a Kraber in play though. Definitely gotta be careful about that. But getting that Wraith up, at least now you got at least you got 2 on your team. You know, that's the one thing too that I love about Valkyrie is that like you can go anywhere with her passive. You know, you can drop down, do some damage, go back up, or vice versa. You know, just keep dealing it, keep dealing and healing.
Dealing and healing. Let's get it. Don't make me start rhyming, bro. That's what I do. I'm a poet. Oh man. But here we go with U2 trying to leave some black and blues, trying to make sure that they do not lose. But they're down to 2. Trying to make a move. Hopefully they can get in the group. Let's see what they can do. But don't you get it confused. There's other teams ready to bruise.
That was a good one. Love that.
And right now it's looking really good for U2. Somehow they got that revive off. And speaking of that, they're suppressing this team into this corner. I'm not sure what made this team back off like that when they already had U2 down pretty bad. So a little bit of a questionable situation of allowing a team to get back up and kind of, you know, backing off out of fear, or what is going on? You know, that's the question. There's multiple teams in this area. We're going to stay where we just were and look at the opposite teams. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, YouTube is very busy right now. I'm just gonna call him YouTube. And here it is. The push is happening now. YouTube has to make a decision what they're gonna do.
Oh, hitting those shots
with that R301, and they're healing up, doing the right thing, taking their time. 10
Backing
teams
up.
left. They got to stay in the ring. They lost one of their players again. The Gibby keeps going down, and now they got to figure this out without him, because going back in the ring is still possible, actually, and it's not going to do as much damage, but they got a team in that area above them. So it's really tough. And for me personally, I'm just getting out of there. There's a team in front of you and one behind you, and I would find a way to get out of there, whether it's the portal and then a Valk right after. I got to do something to survive this situation. So we'll see how it plays out. Right now they're making a decision. Again, portal somewhere safe to Valk is my only option right now. And I would probably go somewhat west, right behind that wall underneath, so that if the team drops on us, that's fine. But then we're not going to have another team on the left pushing us. So we'll see what they'll do. I don't think they should Valk right here, but these are decisions sometimes. Actually playing it safe and taking his time here. Not gonna force it. And that type of situation there, kid, is where, like, why did you shoot? And for me, why did you shoot? You couldn't win that fight. Now there's two teams, they know where we are. You might get in trouble here. And as I say it, there down goes Fraser, one of their players. And now she's finally using her portal and going deeper into the open space. Is going to be very dangerous. All alone.
No, I agree. You know, like if you're content and you're just in a spot, nobody's really looking at you, nothing really is going on, don't shoot. Don't try to draw attention to yourself. At that point, just kind of lay low, wait for them to have their attention somewhere else, and then make your move.
Yeah, I mean, the person was up top and they didn't have like a kill shot or anything. It was just like a pop shot. It's unnecessary. And now this Wraith is gonna just try to survive. We're gonna rotate around, see who's shooting at her, and it's Phantom troops. They've been top tier, I ain't gonna lie, and U2 is eliminated from this game, and 7 teams left, guys. So we're looking for a great finish, and 2 Raven teams. High Peak is in the building. Rusty. Space Boats. Turb and Phantom Pain. I call him Phantom Pain because I'm a Metal Gear fan, but Phantom is in the building as well. And they have to get deeper into the ring, so it's a dangerous situation. We're going to rotate around and check out High Peak. They're currently just trying to survive the scenario. They got to get deep into the ring as well. There's so many teams suppressing right now and holding a really good spot up top. We're going to see who that is above in a very comfortable position. And that is Team Rusty. They got one of their players down and shot.
Oh, was that
Hit with the Kraber, I believe, actually. So they got to be careful now. When I hear a Kraber, I run inside.
Yep, take cover, run inside, do whatever you have to do, just don't lift your head. Ooh.
And here it is. Rusty's having the best spot in the game, but we were talking about earlier, I always say, if you have the best spot, you have to defend it. It doesn't matter that you have it. Can you defend it? And Rusty will have their hands full in a minute. The problem is that these teams can't focus on taking that spot because they have to face each other down low. So the good thing for Rusty above, while we see Tor try to battle it out with a team next door to them, and Raven Goons down to their last player trying to push Tor back as much as possible.
That's the one thing with God Spot is that if you know that you have God Spot, you know the entire lobby's coming to take it from you.
Definitely. Big respect to Tor here, putting in some work and looking real good. Not being afraid of this moment right here where they have multiple teams trying to suppress them. The ring is closing up, but they have this position they can hold for a little bit. So Pretty good stuff.
Ooh. You know, I'm seeing a lot of red shields, and I'm actually really liking it.
Definitely, definitely. Farm that damage, guys. This is one of the best things, I think. It's a nice way to reward good players. It's a tactical play where you can put out some damage. Then you see a great player passing up his shield so he can level up someone else's after he maxes out. It's pretty cool.
I love that. I mean, it's no fun going up like a red shield going up against a white shield or a blue shield, but you know, those red shields are gonna come in so handy, especially with all the Gibraltar ultimates that I'm sure are gonna be dropping down pretty soon.
Yep, and there's only 4 teams, so we're gonna take a quick rotation and look at the 4 teams. Phantom troops working right now. Then you have HP, Everest. You have Rusty, who's in the God spot, guys. This is it right here for them. And I'm gonna take a second and look at what they're rocking right now. Looks like they're very comfortable up here. Then you have Tor. Okay, those are the last 4 teams at the moment. And here we go. Phantom end up dealing with a situation. Now they have to try and survive. Gotta be careful. He put himself away from his team, down a player, getting hit extremely hard. It has to be careful in this scenario.
Absolutely. Maybe we could try to go for a res. Maybe if you could be real sneaky.
I think they're just gonna wait it out, hope that they don't get pushed. And it looks like Rusty might get aggressive soon. They're kind of smelling the blood in the water. They understand that they can't just wait around for the final fight. They have to let the 2 teams fight and then get in there on the grand finale when it happens. So right now, dropping their defensive bombardment, throwing up their Gibby bubble. They're really comfortable and confident here, and they have the advantage as far as being able to be patient. Nobody can get up here unless they force their way up, and that's not going to be a good look.
Good spot. No, this
Beautiful
match is playing
shots.
out exactly how they want it to.
Yep. And man, they're gonna have to drop shortly just to take on this fight, because these 2 teams will end up being above and below each other, and this is where that drop can be dangerous if you don't know how to drop without falling into the animation. That's another skill-based thing that you can learn in the firing range. And here it is, they drop, popping shots, trying to survive in the ring, the grand finale. Beautiful stuff here. Team Rusty. Oh no, they get it done and the win.
Oh, nice. Oh man, that was intense. You know, if I was up there in the same spot as Rusty, I would have waited until the absolute last second before his zone was pushing me out. You know, and they threw bubble down, jumped in there, made sure that they were at least somewhat safe to get past that landing animation where you break your ankles. But they did a great job.
Yeah, they did. And it was again 4 teams in that last situation, and they did wait for a while. They didn't force it as far as jumping down at that moment where there's still a lot of teams left. They kind of let the teams fight. They suppressed as many guys as they can, did a lot of damage on some. They didn't kill all of those guys, but doing that damage allows someone else to kill them, which allows you to be one of the last teams, so you can get that 12-point bonus placement points. And like I said, somebody new was gonna come on board and take the win, and hey, that's what happened. It wasn't any of the teams I predicted, but it was great.
No, it was absolutely great.
And as you can see right here, just waiting to the last position, the teams are down there battling it out. By the time they drop, I wanted to pay attention to see how many teams were left. It was only 3 teams left, and it was a tight quarters, and this Gibby bubble, man, was bigger than the ring itself, and they found a way to win and get it done. Good stuff right here. Rusty.
Yeah, you know, it's
With the
really
finale.
important to play patient. You know, take your time, play it slow, play it smart, and then just like that, you come out on top.
For sure, for sure. Kid, thank you so much. If you want to give us your final thoughts on these 6 games, what you saw, what was impressive, what did you like?
Oh man, I loved all of it. You know, it's so much fun. You know, I love playing Apex, but I love watching Apex too. You know, it's so much fun. I'm glad to be here. Thanks so much for having me. But these teams did great. You know, it was definitely full of excitement, full of energy. I love the super aggressive play. I love the super defensive play too. You know, holding down a building and everything like that. I think it was awesome. It was great.
Cool, man. Thank you so much. First of all, you did a great job today casting for your first time ever. I hope everybody enjoyed that. I'm sure that you're a fan favorite already. Would love to have you back anytime. You just hit me up. We can try to get it going. We want to build rosters, so kind of have like different teams come on board for Thursdays or Sundays or different days that we have tournaments for. Just keep building off of that going forward. So it was an honor to have you for your first ever casting. Go ahead, this is your moment to put it in the plug, man. You survived the 6 games. You made it out as our caster for the day. So you got a moment to plug yourself for a second here.
Yeah, follow me on Twitch, JustKid13, Twitter, JustKid13, pretty much anywhere you can find me, JustKid13. Some places will have an underscore after the kid, but you'll find me anyway. But come hang out with me. You know, come talk to me. I love talking to people. I love making jokes. I love having fun. Let's do it.
Got you, man. It's been a pleasure, man. We'll talk soon, man. Thank you so much for coming by.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Take care.
You too.
Peace. And there goes the kid. The kid. He was great. I really liked it. I think he can be great. I think once he gets his casting part down, as far as like actual action in game stuff, we can see something special out of that guy. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I know I did. I thought he was amazing, and I felt like we did a good job here for today's tournament. And hopefully we'll see more from him and from everybody. It was a great night, to say the least. It was a fun time to cast this tournament. Some great games also. You guys performed very well, and I'm grateful to have y'all on board. I know some people want to know what is going on with the leaderboards and stuff. We usually have the updates live, but I'm a one-man show today. We do have the stats. We sent you the link of what the players did as far as performance goes. We'll continue to build from there going forward, man. But yeah, it's been a good time, to say the least. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. We got more coming on Sunday, actually, so you can come back Sunday 6 p.m., which is what, the 3rd? Am I correct? Do I got that right? You can come back for Sunday's tournament. Let me double check the actual dates. Yeah, Sunday the 3rd at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard. Another one on the 7th of April, and then on the 8th. All right. So feel free and get involved with us, as this community welcomes everybody. Everybody is involved. And speaking of involved, I do have somebody who's supposed to be a mod for me, and I don't know how to make them a mod while I'm streaming. Gotta figure this out. There you go. And Electronic Siren is our mod right now on the chat. So if there is an issue that happened in the chat, feel free to let her know. She's gonna be doing a good job trying to help out. And I'll check in to see any problems. Somebody's talking about an issue with somebody. First and foremost, we don't allow any type of toxic natures, not even no Will Smith smacks going on in our community. We like to keep it friendly. We'd like to keep it family relevant. This is for you guys, so make sure you know that. And just rock out with us. Stay tuned. Keep it pushing. And it's your world, baby. But we'll figure that out. We'll look back on the chat and we'll see any type of comments that were unnecessary, man. But thank you guys for coming so much. It's been a blast. I hope y'all enjoyed it as much as I did, because I know I did, for sure. But besides that, if you want to get involved, hit the Discord. You know where to find us, and we'll have you on board. It's been a fun one. Again, you're looking at the format, which is basically jump into the Discord, sign up, play in these qualifiers. You have a chance to get into the playoffs. All right. Already. Outside of that, man, have yourself a good night. Come back tomorrow for regular streams, and we could just have some fun and kick it. Okay. Hey, man, it's been good. If you got any thoughts or questions, now's the time. I'm going to stay on the stream for a little bit and cool off before I go rest for the night. Okay, my friends? And speaking of that, couple of announcements. We do want casters for our tournaments. We feel like we have a great situation when it comes to tournaments and events and things like that, but we need a team of casters. Just like today, we showcased the Just Kid, who was incredible. I think he's built for it, man. I think, maybe the Apex staff needs to hire this kid. Of course, he got a little bit of prep work to do to get fully at his peak, but I do believe that it could work. He can be great. He showcased it already, and he's a young kid who just started playing, so I like that a lot. But we'll see how it goes. 4-6 B. Hold on a second. I'm just keeping track of these scores right now, guys, as we speak. But anyway, great night, great stuff. 6 amazing games, and we'll look into the rest. But thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a blast. Right, come back, hang with me anytime, and show support to the stream so we can build this community together. The goal is to take it to that next level, man. All right, man. I love you guys. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys soon. Peace and love.